Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester and today I'll be walking through the crypto markets. First things first, we'll start off with the short term for Bitcoin, then we're going to jump to the mid term for Bitcoin, and then we're going to jump to the long term for Bitcoin. Once we've done Bitcoin, we're going to do some altcoins there, so smash your altcoin requests in the chat and I'll get to them once I have finished on Bitcoin. Starting off with Bitcoin here on the short term, on the hourly chart here. As you can see here, we have just broke this symmetrical triangle, this key downward sloping resistance line that we had there on the top side of the symmetrical triangle. We have just broke that to the upside and seen that massive pump, right? Very, very good stuff in terms of pumping all the altcoins and stuff like that. And it's looking very bullish in terms of crypto in general today. Very, very nice stuff indeed. We actually came up, we found a nice level of support on this 200 moving average on the hourly time frame for Bitcoin here. We came up, we smashed it, and we saw that level of support that we gained on this trend line coming to the top, on the top side of this symmetrical triangle, right? We gained that level of support and we have pumped to the upside. Currently, we topped out at around that 38,200 zone, and we have seen that pretty big resistance coming off that top point, right? And we have just set that lower high in terms of the hourly candle, which means we are going to see that resistance to the downside. And yes, we are currently testing this horizontal level of support sat just here, right? We're currently testing that, currently finding support on it, which is good. If we can get a couple of candle closes above that, I would like to see progression to the upside. But the reason that we are seeing this resistance now, if we just jump to the RSI on the hourly time frame here, look, we were near enough overbought here, right? We're near enough overbought, and we know what happens when we get overbought. We see that rejection in the price, right? We see that rejection in the price. And that's selling power basically coming into fruition, right? And that's basically what's happening here, right? And that's why we're seeing this dump in the price. But it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that we're gonna not go up any further and come up to this downward sloping resistance line coming through from these major top points here. It doesn't mean we're not going to go up to that point. It just needs we need a little bit more of a cooling off period, right? We need a little bit more of a cooling off period, just so we can get more momentum, gather the momentum to get up to this point here, right? I actually got into a long position as we came down and tested this, tested the top side of this symmetrical triangle coming through here. I got into a nice long position, and then I took my profit at around this horizontal resistance line at that point, right? In terms of a percent for that trade there, right? It wasn't too big. It was just around one and a bit percent, right? Near enough 2% there. Not too bad indeed for just a little tiny scalp for Bitcoin. But the reason why I did take it out is because if we just jump to the long-term timeframes for now, we are going to see some heavy resistance off this descending triangle, the top side of this descending triangle in terms of a trend line on the daily time frame there. So I was like, yep, okay, that's an indication to be safe in terms of risk and stuff. I did want to get out of my trade there, right? So that's why I got out of my trade, bank that profit there. I mean, at this point in time, if we are going to see some sort of retracement, I would potentially be looking at another position if we can come down to this trend line coming down here with this 200 and the 21 giving us a nice level of support here in terms of moving averages, right? If we can get down there, I would be looking for a bounce, potentially another long trade, looking maybe around 2%, obviously depending on the momentum of what we're doing at that specific time. But yes, not too bad indeed. If we were looking for a completion of a measure move here for this symmetrical triangle coming through, we would be looking something along the lines of this. I mean, to be honest, it's very greedy indeed, right? It's very greedy indeed, and it's pretty unlikely to happen as we do have pretty big levels, right? We do have pretty big levels of resistance that we know we need to get through. Crucial point, as I keep basically stressing about, is this key lower high point that we got coming down here, right? So yeah, very, very, very crucial point there. I've just realized I don't actually have the chat up at this point in time. So if you just bear with me 1 second, I'll just bring the chat up so I can see if you guys are talking in the chat there. Oh yeah, we do have SkyDMX, Neelesh, and Cloud9 coming through as well. Let me pop out that chat. Here we go. Sorry about this. Here we go, guys. How are you guys? Hope you're all well. Nice to see you back on the stream there. Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you. Didn't stream this morning. Very unfortunate. I was having really bad computer problems, right? But finally, I think we're fixed. And that obviously explains the crash that we had yesterday on the stream. Very annoying stuff. I think we're fixed now. So yeah, looking good. Looking good. I'll definitely be back tomorrow morning to do an early morning stream for you guys. Praying the computer holds out, right? Just praying for it. But yeah, so back to Bitcoin. Back to Bitcoin. Crucial point of resistance we are going to see here is going to be this 38,700 zone. We all know that, I think, because obviously we can see this pretty dominant downward sloping resistance line coming down from, yes, these crucial lower highs which we created on that insane pump to the downside, right? So yeah, hello everybody. Hello Harshit. Hello Alexandra. Alexandru, nice to see you. Shivansh, nice to see you too, sir. Nice to have you back on the stream, guys. Right, let's go to the MACD right now. Good afternoon, Jake. Nice to see you back on the stream as well. As you can see on the MACD here, we do have this downwards trend cycle, which we were looking for, and we were actually discussing the reversal in the price in terms of the previous downtrend that we had there, and that's when we were like, yep, we are going to see a nice bounce point off this grey box zone, right? As I said, around that time when I was streaming, I did say we were going to come down and we were going to potentially bounce off it, and we did. We clearly bounced off it, and that basically lined up perfectly with this level of support on this trend and on this on this level of support on the MACD here. So that's a great indication and a great reason why we use this MACD here, because as you can see, it's heavily respecting it. It's heavily respecting it indeed. So now we know when we do get that bearish crossover and that little bit of a retrace in the price, we know we've got a nice level of support here to think about, because it just keeps respecting it, right? It keeps respecting it. So why wouldn't we use it for an indication of where the price is going to basically have that reversal in the trend? At this point in time on the old MACD for the hourly time frame, the short term for Bitcoin here, we are pretty far away, right? We're pretty far away from a bearish crossover. We are currently in an uptrend. We did have a little bit of a fizzle out in the uptrend, right? A little bit of a fizzle out in the uptrend, but no, we have had that continuation to the upside. Very good indeed. We are slowing down now, right? We're slowing down now, and as I said, that's because we're near enough got overbought here on the RSI. So that's why we're going to have that little bit of calm period in terms of the momentum to the upside here before hopefully having that continuation to the upside. But in terms of the short term right now, we need to chill out a bit. We need to chill out a bit because these gains, pretty good. Very, very nice indeed. If we can keep that momentum up, that would be absolutely ideal. What did Alexandru? So, do we hit 39k today? I mean, to be honest with you, sir, it's quite hard to say, right? It's quite hard to say, but on the hourly time frame, we do need to chill out a bit. So let me jump to the daily for you quickly. Let's jump to the daily for you quickly. As you can see, we do have this pretty big downward sloping resistance line of this pretty big indeed descending triangle. So in order to get to that 39k mark, as you said, we would need to see that basically insane buying power to the upside here to smash through this this resistance line that we got coming through here. So yeah, if you were hoping for that 39k today, I would be looking at basically breaking this downward sloping resistance line here, watching that congruently, and if we can get a potential candle close by the end of the day above that, then we would be looking at the progression to the upside, potentially coming up and testing this 21 and this 200 coming through as well. Nice to see you back on the stream, Ivo and Sujan. Hello from Nepal. Hello to you. Yeah, so if we jump back to the midterm there for Bitcoin, I'm just going to have some H2O quickly. And yes, my wisdom teeth are still horrendous. Absolutely awful. But yeah, as you can see, on the old midterm here for Bitcoin, we do have another pretty big, pretty crucial symmetrical triangle playing out, right? Pretty big, pretty crucial symmetrical triangle. That's another reason why we are finding a level of resistance here, because we do have a downward sloping resistance line coming through here. But on the positive, we do have the 55 moving average here to hold us up if we are to lose this level of support which we're trying to gain at this point in time. If we do lose that, then we are going to potentially have a nice bounce off this 55, because as we all know, the 55 is pretty dominant in terms of level of support and basically bouncing off it. And right, we could basically ride the wave along it, right? If we can basically hold it, right? So ideally, we do hold the 55 here. If we don't, I would say the next target would be the 21 moving average coming up here, and that's the yellow one there, and that's around the price target of 36,700. I mean, personally for me, at this point in time, I am expecting some resistance to the downside because we have seen pretty significant pumpage on the old Bitcoin, right? In terms of percent, we've literally gone up near enough 7% for Bitcoin, which is great stuff. We are leveling off a bit now, but yeah, we have gone up quite a bit significantly over the last day or so, right? Excuse me, but yeah, keep your eyes peeled for this horizontal resistance point sat down at this 37,300, correlating with the 55 in terms of a bounce point if we do lose, if we do find heavy resistance off this point. But please take into account that you can see the resistance, right? You can see the resistance in previous price action off this point. It could be pretty big, right? It could be pretty big, and I wouldn't be too shocked at all if we ended up seeing a test of the lower side of this symmetrical triangle playing out. I wouldn't be shocked at all. But on the positive side, as you can see, I like my attractive chart patterns. As you can see here, it's pretty attractive, right? If we can get another touch to the bottom, then Jesus, that's going to be lovely. It's going to be lovely, lovely indeed, right? Very, very nice looking. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, as I was just saying, I would expect some resistance down from this point here before seeing that progression to the upside. If we're looking for a trade for that, right? If we're looking for a nice trade for the symmetrical triangle when we break out to the upside there, I would be looking at a potential long position. I would be potentially waiting for us to come down and test this crucial zone. If if we consolidate around this point for a bit, right, and then we break on this zone here, we know we've got heavy levels of support here from literally three different things, right? 3 different points coming down here. sorry, yeah, coming down here to find basically a nice level of support on, and that basically is more congruent for the long to basically play off, right? In terms of a measure move for that trade, we would be looking at something along the lines of this, right? Obviously, it is pretty greedy. It's pretty unlikely that we're going to get all the way up here, but as you can see, we do have this 200 moving average coming down as well, which we could potentially have a bit of a take profit point from, but I would be taking profit at all the way up, right? I would be taking profit all the way up and staggering that profit taking, just in case we do see that insane level of resistance off these lower high points, which in a sense we should be scared of, right? We should be scared of these lower high points because, as you can see, the resistance to the downside is pretty big indeed. It is pretty big indeed. So if we are going to see some resistance from these lower high points here, right, it is going to be around this point. So I would be looking. If we were getting in along here, I would be looking at taking a nice chunk of my profit here before seeing that retracement there. So it's definitely something to think about. In terms of a percent for this trade that I'm thinking about taking, right, is around 11, near enough 12%, right? It's near enough a 12% trade there. So yeah, definitely something to consider, but I wouldn't be aiming for that. I wouldn't really be aiming. I just kind of correlate with this lower high as well. So maybe if we do see a nice amount of price action to the a nice amount of momentum to the upside here, smashing through this key resistance point here on this lower high, then we would be looking at another take profit there. So yeah, definitely something to take into account if we are to leave this symmetrical triangle to the upside. Definitely, right? But yeah, referencing the RSI on the midterm here for Bitcoin, as you can see, we have actually we've broke through this downward sloping resistance line, which the returning people on the channel, we do know it's pretty dominant indeed, right? It's pretty dominant indeed in finding that resistance. So it's definitely a place to watch, on the 4-hourly chart here for Bitcoin, because if we are to come down, hopefully we can find a level of support on it and have that progression back to the upside. But if we don't, we are going to be seeing that heavy resistance as we see multiple times, right? On the RSI with this downward sloping resistance line, it is there's quite a lot of resistance. There's quite a lot of resistance here if we are to lose this point. So I would be watching this pretty clearly this point pretty clearly in terms of live price, in case we see that bounce to the upside, and then we could potentially look at some sort of position from there. Or if we are going to see that resistance coming through and playing out there, then we are going to potentially see a dump in the price, losing major levels of support here, and that could basically maybe even bring us down to this high low point that we've got here, and basically try and eradicate that, and that's at around 35,700. I mean, to be honest, I don't really want to get down there personally. I do like these high lows playing out, that continuous growth to the upside. That's what we want for Bitcoin, because that obviously brings up all the other altcoins as well, and it basically makes all of our portfolios grow. Very good stuff indeed, right? Very good stuff indeed. Question from Alexandru. Just give me one sec, right? Let me just have some H2O. How do you prepare for this resistance? How can you know to long or short? The pump and dump are very aggressive too quick. See, the thing is, you just need to weigh up every piece of information that you have, and then take a judgment off that. Obviously, not all indicators, not all chart patterns, not all horizontal supports are always respected, right? It's literally, in a sense, not quite a guessing game, but throwing as much information in. Okay, imagine throwing as much information into a bucket, I guess, and then 10% of it's going to be wrong. 10% of all of it is always going to be wrong, but then if you've got 90% of good information there, it's an indication that your trade is 90% likely to come through, right? But then you have to basically weigh up whether risk and reward, right? So if you've got all your information together and you're like, oh, it's only 60% looking like it's going to go up, basically, then in terms of risk reward, that wouldn't be along for me. You want the big percentages in terms of putting all your indicators together, and then basically deciding whether to take your position, as well as watching the price action and all of that stuff as well. So yeah, it is a risky game, and I guess it is obviously a form of gambling, right? But I call it intelligent gambling, right? Because you throw so much information together and you try and get an insight and basically do it like that, right? But yeah, in terms of if you were looking for some free indicators, because you are obviously new to this, I would recommend TradingView as like a TA sort of thing here. Free indicators, the RSI, that basically plots out the momentum in terms of buying and selling power. And if we get to an overbought point on the RSI here, as you can see here, let me grab you a little example here. So as you can see, we were overbought at this point here on the RSI, and that was our top for the all-time high, right? And then we see that insane reversal in terms of selling power, because we're overbought. So yeah, that's when we see the insane crashes, right? So it's definitely that's one of the indications that we know when we're overbought here. we're going to see that retracement in the price. So if you were going to just go on that RSI and that top bit there, you could be like, oh, I could potentially get in a short there, right? Because you're going to see that momentum to the downside. Definitely, it always plays out when we're overbought, right? It always does, and vice versa when we're oversold here. When we get oversold, we're like, oh, we're oversold, the price is cheap, bang, everyone starts buying, right? And that obviously pumps the price up, right? Yeah, in terms of a free indicator, it's called the RSI, so just search that up in your indicators bar here, and then the next one is the MACD, right? And this indicator basically plots out whether we're in an uptrend or whether we're in a downtrend. And then you can use trend lines and horizontal supports and resistances across that to basically plot out where we're going to see that trend reversal. Like as you can see here, we have come to the downside and we have actually hit this level of support here, and that's when we see that trend reversal. So that's another indication that we are going to basically find support off this line coming through here and see that trend reversal and see that buying power to the upside. So potentially adding that, just going on that basis for one time, potentially a long position, right? Obviously that's only like 2 factors, right? And you would be chucking in loads and loads of other pieces of information to basically get an acknowledgement whether you are going to be entering that trade. As I said, the more information you have, the better chances you are of getting a successful trade, right? But yeah, another indicator, yeah, that was the MACD there. If you want to get that indicator, that's free. You can get that on TradingView for free as well. And another one I use is it's called Auto S&R, and it's basically automatically plotted in supports and resistances. Not these yellow lines here, but they are, I don't know how to get them up. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but like this green line here, that's basically a support point, and this red line here, that basically acts as a resistance point, right? So you can get that free as well, and usually you can see we primarily bounce off all these points, right? So there's potential that that's another indication to chuck in to all the information you're trying to gauge, whether you're going to be in a long or a short position there. Hopefully I've helped you there, bro. But yeah, let me jump back to Bitcoin on and guys, if you've got any requests, smash them in the chat there, and I'll jump across and do some altcoins for you once I've just finished Bitcoin. As you can see here on the old long term for Bitcoin here, we are looking at this descending triangle we got playing through here. Descending triangle that we got playing through here, and we are currently hopefully finding support on this 10 moving average that we got coming through here, right? Ideally, if we were looking for a break to the upside, we would be looking. These are really annoying, all these yellow lines, right? Yeah, if we were looking for a break to the upside, I would be looking at some sort of measure move, something along the lines of this, right? Something along the lines of this to the upside here. But obviously, as I said, on the other time frames here, we do have these key lower high points to get over, right? And we do know the resistance from that, and I have been stressing about that, right? So yeah, that would be a key point of resistance that we know. And also we do have the 200 moving average coming through and the 21 as well. So if we were to get in a long position on the daily here, it wouldn't be like an imminent parabolic trade. It would be continuous, like over the course of a few days or so, if we were going to keep that momentum to the upside, and then we would be taking profit at all these different points, right? We would be taking a little bit at the 21, probably not a massive amount, because we know obviously the 21 is respected, but we would be going for that 200 moving average because we know it's got more dominance. And then definitely we would be looking for that candle close, sorry, not the candle close, we'd be looking for that the momentum completion, obviously depending on where we're going to break along this triangle. If we break, it's on speculation that we break along this point, this would be the key take profit point, as it lines up pretty much well. I nearly pointed at the screen there, as it lines up pretty much well with these lower high points coming through here, right? And that is at around a 9, near enough 10% trade there for Bitcoin on the long term there. Definitely something to consider when trading Bitcoin on the long term there. But yeah, at this point in time, it's not looking so bad on the daily. If we can just hold our own. Absolute bottom, I can see we would be seeing a bounce to this 34,000 zone. And as I said on my stream yesterday, we were looking at a potential bounce point if we were to get there at 34,500. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out tremendously. Turn that thumbs up blue, right? And guys, yep, I stream every single day. So if you never want to miss a piece of my content and you never want to miss a live stream, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and you'll get notified when I go live. It's as simple as that, right? Yeah. So that's the daily. Let's jump to the weekly now. We did discuss how crucial it would be if we did close last week below the 55, but no, we didn't. We closed above it. Very, very nice stuff indeed. I would be looking at a weekly target to come up and potentially test this level of this horizontal resistance line that we got coming through at 42,000. God, it feels good to say $42,000 Bitcoin. Hopefully we see that progression to the upside. But yeah, that does actually line up pretty swiftly with these lower high points coming through here, if my memory is correct, right? Yeah, it does actually line up pretty much well with this grey box zone that we've got coming through here. So yeah, definitely a point to watch in terms of resistance at that 42 mark there, and that's basically that's that horizontal resistance point that we do need to get through, or even come up and test. But it's crucial we find support on that, if we can find support on that, if we are looking for that progression to the upside. Hopefully this 21 can come down and act as a nice level in maybe a week or so, or probably 2 weeks. and then we can look at that progression, finding that support and moving back up to the upside here. But then after that, we just have so much resistance to the upside right now, because we've obviously got this bull market barrier coming up as well. And yeah, that is at 43,500. I'm sure we'll find resistance there as well. So at this point in time, weekly target, I would be looking for that 42,000 mark. That would be nice indeed. It is crucial that we don't lose. It's crucial that we don't lose these points. These are that's the wrong thing. These it's crucial we don't lose these higher low points on the weekly time frame, the weekly candles here, because if we are to lose them, we are going to be looking at reversing the trend, right? Obviously, it's not going to be imminent because it is obviously the weekly chart, but we are going to see that reversing the trend, potentially setting lower lows, and that's obviously on speculation of candle closes here. So we don't want to be closing our weekly candle below this 33,500. That is not good news at all, right? Not good news at all. That's an indication that we are going to see the reversing the trend, right? Let me see what the chat's saying here, guys. More wisdom, more pain, more water. I'm normally drunk and passing out. Good to see you back here, Ivo. Always, never fail making me laugh, bro. Never at all. Thank you. I've learned a lot lately, but that dump of 10k was out of nowhere. Yeah, that the dump of 10k, Alexandru, that was primarily, I think Elon started that, right? I think Elon started it, and then everyone just kind of panic sold, right? A lot of people were panic selling. A lot of, in a sense, uneducated people in crypto. They were just like, they had all their life savings in crypto, right? It was stupid. You should never do that. People literally, I know people who had literally their whole net worth in crypto, and it was just like the price just started dumping. They're like, oh my god, my net worth's down 30%. I'm selling it all, and everyone just started selling at a loss, and that obviously drove the price down pretty significantly, as we saw, and it got all the way down to $30,000 there, right? But yeah, everyone's saying we are going to have that continuation to the upside, but we do need to get over this bull market barrier. And last time this happened, when we had this crash, we did actually retrace to the upside. 96% it was. We retraced to the upside in terms of the price, 96% up. Yeah, around 96% up. And then we actually saw that progression to the downside from there. And then we saw a $3,000 Bitcoin, right? So yeah, if we are going to see a massive trap coming through here, we would be retracing somewhat. Pretty big, coming up to those big prices again around that 58,000 zone, and then seeing insane resistance from there, and then basically just trickling down into the bear market. So at this point in time, I'm pretty undecided in bull market or bear market, but ideally we want a bull market, right? We make more money in the bull market, but yeah, I would jump to. I'll do Doge for you, Ivo. Basically latest is WOB machine isn't free. The WOB machine isn't free, I'm afraid, but it will be up for lease once I've got it all sorted, right? Once I've got it all sorted, but yeah, it's primarily Bitcoin Beats' indicator. So yeah, I'll be getting that sorted for you guys in the future to lease it and stuff. But at this point in time, I just want to kind of master stream it for now, right? That's why I just want to chuck some free indicators at you that you can use, because I like to give you guys free stuff. Yeah, in a sense, right? But yeah, so where were we? Long as before, lost the garbage already. Interesting. Looking to see whether how stays or goes. Everything was fine, but still dumped. By the way, I got a notification from 5-6 days ago. Yeah, I found that the notifications from YouTube are really quite late. Let me do. Ivo, did you want me to do MATIC or Magic? I'll do INJ for Shivansh now. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. But yeah, so what was I saying there? Yeah, so Bitcoin with the notifications. Sometimes they really do lack it, and that's why I want to basically have my Discord completely set up for you guys, and then when I do go live, it will be posted in there and you will get live notifications. But yeah, it's really annoying that YouTube do that sometimes, but yeah, really annoying stuff, because I have notifications from some of the YouTubers that I follow as well, and they're like 5-6 days late as well, so there's hopefully something that YouTube can work on. But yeah, as you can see here for INJ right now, we are forming an ascending triangle to the upside, right? We're forming an ascending triangle to the upside, and we're testing this pretty crucial resistance point. The horizontal resistance point sat on the top side of $11.23 there, right? Sup, Memski? Sup, Skydemex? OG out here? Come on. Magic. I know, Matic. Yeah, so we are testing this pretty crucial horizontal resistance point sat around that $11.23 there. If we are going to look for that progression to the upside, that would be ideal to find a level of support there. That's the ideal scenario, and then we would be looking at a target to get to this 200 moving average sat at around that $12.75. That would be the target, but crucial point to watch now that we don't see any heavy level of resistance off this point here. It would be this point here, right? We would be looking at getting a few 4-hourly candle closes above this. and then we could look at progression to the upside. In terms of a trade, we could be looking at something along the lines of this. If we are going to see that progression to the upside and see that candle close above this ascending triangle here, we are going to be looking at a potential trade there to think about, right? In terms of percent for that trade, we are going to be looking along the lines of around 25%. Very juicy indeed. But obviously we do have this 200 moving average coming down as well, so we do need to think about taking a pretty big chunk of profit as we're coming up, right? As we're coming up. And when we're coming up like that, we would be taking our stop loss and we would be moving it up further, right? We would be moving it up further. So then if we have taken a nice level of profit and we do come back down and hit our stop loss, we've not lost any money at all, right? We've actually made money, and it's still going to be a successful trade at the end of the day, right? You and Hammy are awesome. Thank you, XRP. The king's coming. Thank you, sir. Means a lot. But yeah, so that would be, and I will get to that. I'm just going to do TRX next, and then I'm going to try and do Magic for Ivo. I'm going to give that a go, right, if I can find it. And then I'll do XRP for you, sir. But yeah, at this point in time, in terms of targets, I would be looking to get over this point, and that is around that that $11.40, $11.20. If we can get some nice closes above that, then we would be looking at a potential position to the upside. But obviously, we do get back on the retest, right? So it's definitely something to consider. But likelihood scenario, right? Likelihood scenario on the 4 hourly, as you can see here, we do bring up the RSI. We're near enough overbought here. So that basically is an indication we are going to see some heavy resistance off this point now, because we are going to see that selling power on the RSI, right? We are going to see that selling power, and that the price, that's obviously going to drive the price down. We do have the 55 coming up as well, so it's likely that we are going to lose this point in terms of resistance and come down and bounce off the 55 and then have another go at it. So in terms of a downwards price target, it would be around that $9.98. And to be completely honest with you, look at the pump, right? This pump, we need some sort of consolidation at least to replicate, not replicate, but basically see some sort of pump to the upside here like this, right? We need to see some sort of consolidation period or some sort of little retracement there for it to be healthy. Otherwise, you're going to keep going up, right? And then you're going to get parabolic, and then you're just going to crash off a cliff from there, right? So we do need a consolidation period. So that's definitely for it to be healthy, right? For it to be healthy. And then I'll do 88 for Cloud9 there. And then, yeah, so I would be looking at a downwards target of this 55 at around that $9.99 there. In terms of what's happening on the MACD, what we've got going on here, we are in this uptrend. It did kind of fizzle out, but as you can see, we have seen that massive progression to the upside. It is a really quite a big pump, this, wasn't it? Really quite a big pump. Nice 21% there. One of the altcoins that are actually doing very well in terms of performance today. I've seen a few really jumping up, right? I've seen a few really jumping up, which is good to see, right? It's very good to see, because obviously Bitcoin, the crypto crash before, absolutely just will shut them all out in a sense, right? So yeah, let me jump to yeah, crucial point there would be getting over this final support. But at this point in time, you are going to see a bit of a rejection there on the midterm, right? Now let's go to TRX. We got it to tether. Yeah, gotta love Tron. Yeah, so at this point in time, we are setting high lows continuously, looking pretty good indeed. I'd say crucial point to get over would be this 8 cents 30, sorry, 8 cents 38 there. That would be absolutely crucial point is there to actually invalidate this lower high point that we've got coming through here. That would be the crucial next target, I'd say there. But as you can see, we do have this pretty dominant downward sloping resistance line to think about here. Pretty dominant downward sloping resistance line to think about, and we're currently testing that at this point in time. If we can find a nice level of support there, then I would be putting in a target for around that point there. Yeah, that would be the next sort of target. I would be looking for support, and then after that, it would be at this lower high, like I just said there. And if we go to the RSI quickly, we're not quite overbought yet, so we can see some upwards momentum. We can see some more upwards momentum before we see that selling power in terms of using that as one indication of where the price is going to go. I would be looking at getting overbought here when we're coming up to this resistance line at 8 cents and 8 cents to 13. Yeah, 8 cents to 13. That's where I would be looking at some sort of retracing the price there, because that is when we are going to be overbought there on the 4 hourly time frame. In terms of what's happening on the MACD right now, we do see pretty dominant lower low coming through here, and obviously pretty dominant lower lows coming through there as well in terms of downtrend. That's obviously these insane dumps coming through here. But what's happening right now, we are in an uptrend. It's not too bad. We're pretty far away from a bearish crossover coming through here. And the last one was pretty flaccid indeed. Wasn't great. And we haven't really seen the effects of this pump coming through here. We haven't really seen the effects of that in terms of the MACD here on the 4 hourly. So hopefully we can see that progression to the upside, but yeah, as I said, it would be key to find a level of support on that 0.78 sort of zone there on that downward sloping, well, currently support line, right? If we can find a nice level of support on that, that's going to be unreal. If we aren't going to, I would be looking at basically finding that resistance, basically coming down central on the RSI, which is obviously means we're gonna have some selling power, right? We're gonna have some selling power to the downside. But ideal scenario, we would, if we do dump, the ideal scenario is basically finding a nice level of support on this 55. Ideally, you want to consolidate around this point and then look for a leg up. But right now, you do want this support. You do want this support. But on the benefit, if you do lose this trend line coming down from the top side here, you would be looking at getting a potential bounce off the 55, as I just said, or the 21 and the price action channel coming through here. Worst case scenario, you come down and you lose this high low that we've got coming through here in terms of this uptrend, right? You would lose this higher low, and then we will be looking at some progression to the downside, potentially even challenging this higher low point here at around 0.7 cents there. About 7 cents there, and then I would be looking at a bounce from there, right? Because if you just see that downward selling momentum, we are going to see it on the RSI as well. So we are going to see a bounce up in terms of selling power for there. So yeah, in terms of short-term targets, it would be holding this point here before seeing any more progression, letting the RSI chill out in terms of selling power, and then seeing that next leg up and challenging these horizontal resistance points at these prices just here, right? So yeah, definitely something to consider, and watch this zone to see if we are going to lose. If we are going to lose it, I'd be watching these moving averages, and if you are in a trade there, I would be watching these moving averages pretty solidly to see whether we're going to find that support on there. Then what was next? Jump to Bitcoin quickly, actually. Yeah, we are seeing that retracement actually, and we are seeing that resistance coming down and basically holding, that's the wrong tool. We are basically trying to hold this level of support, horizontal support level coming through at that 37,700. It is pretty crucial that we hold that. If we don't hold that, I would be looking at potentially coming down. We've got the 200 coming through here as well, and the 21, so we would be looking at potential price target on the short term here of around that 37,200 mark. Yeah, a few things to think about in terms of the live price right now. I'll be watching this zone pretty closely. If we are to lose it, I would be seeing us coming down a bit, because as you can see, pretty dominant resistance points coming down here from this zone. And so yeah, I would be watching that I'd just be watching it, right? Be watching it. Let me have a look. I was joking, dude. Oh, no worries. XRP for the King's coming. The King's coming. XRP. We do have ascending triangle coming through. We've got an ascending triangle coming through here. We are currently testing the resistance point at this horizontal zone at that $1.02, right? $1.02. If we do lose that, I would be seeing us coming down to this 55 and the 21 moving average on the 4-hourly time frame right now. But yeah, that would be a key bounce point, because if we are to get lower than that, we would be eradicating this lower high point here as well, and we don't want that, right? We don't want that, because that basically is an initiation. We are going to see potentially that reversing the trend, and then we're going to test the bottom side of this ascending triangle, right? Ideally, we don't want that. Ideally, we want to find a nice level of support on this horizontal resistance point currently. If we find a nice level on that, then we can see that progression to the upside, and then we can think about challenging the top side of this ascending triangle, right? So yeah, in terms of short-term targets for XRP right now, I would just be looking at, it's not huge, right? It's not huge. I would just be looking at getting over this horizontal resistance point and getting a few 4-hourly candle closes. You're likely to have some sort of consolidation period here, because you have seen that pump there before another leg up. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's not looking too bad for XRP. But yeah, key point would be this high low point. If we lose that at 97 cents there, it's not good. It's not good at all, right? Not very good. But yeah, in terms of what's happening on the RSI right now, I know we do have a pretty big downward sloping resistance line coming through there, which isn't bad, right? Because we have broken it to the upside. So if we are going to come down and basically try and find some support in it, that's good as well, right? That's good as well, and that's an indication that in terms of what's going to happen in the price, we're likely to come down and potentially have a nice bounce with this 55. So if we are to, worst case, lose this horizontal resistance point currently at that $1.02, I would be seeing a bounce at around 98 cents before potentially coming up and testing it again. Hopefully, if we can find a level of support on this downward sloping resistance line coming through here. If we aren't to find level of support here, in terms of the RSI here, I would be seeing us coming down. So when we do get to this point, if we do come down here and basically test it, I would basically be watching that pretty closely, because if we lose that, it's an indication that we are going to go down, and we are going to basically lose the 55, the 21, and the price action channel, and then also eradicate this lower high coming through as well, right? And obviously that means we are going to see that continuation to the downside. So yeah, I would be watching this point pretty key, and obviously this 55 and the 21 as well, right? If we lose them, it's looking like we are going to come down to this 96, 95 sort of mark there. And yeah, that's pretty much XRP there for you, sir. Let me jump to what's next. Pick up a chicken and flex. XRP. 88 for Cloud9. Cloud9. Guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Turn that thumbs up blue. Helps me out tremendously, right? Let me get rid of that. Let me I've got it on my watch list here. Yeah, let me if you're liking the stream, guys, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously in terms of the YouTube algorithms and stuff like that. And yeah, I do this every single morning. I didn't this morning because obviously my computer was playing up, and you guys know that because obviously the stream cut out yesterday. Very, very annoying stuff. But yeah, at this point in time, hopefully it's fixed. So I will be back early morning again for you guys there. Apologies. I wasn't there this morning. Very annoying. Spent all day fixing the computer. But yeah, we're back in the game. We're back in the game now. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, in terms of ADA right now, we do obviously have this pretty big ascending triangle that's formed here. Pretty big ascending triangle. Pretty crucial, right? If we are looking for progressionary to the upside here, we have got to get past these key points. What's the name of your RSI indicator? It's not mine, sir. It is literally a free indicator that the TradingView offer, right? So if you go to your indicators up here, and then you basically just search RSI. I think I've got relative strength index just coming through here, right? Yeah, so just have a look at that, and basically it'll bring it up on your chart straight away on TradingView, right? TradingView, right? But yeah, in terms of ADA right now on the 4-hourly, we are looking at this ascending triangle to the upside. Crucial point that we are currently testing at this point, right? Crucial point indeed, because if we do break this to the upside, we don't really have a lot of resistance stopping us for that progression, right? We don't have a lot of resistance stopping us for that progression. So that's a great indication that we are going to see some potential measure move play out, right? Some potential measure move play out looking somewhat along the lines of this, right? And that does correlate pretty goddamn well with this volume weighted ATR band coming through as well here. So yeah, definitely something to consider in terms of a ADA trade to the upside, right? And if we do get that, it's going to be very, very good for ADA because we are going to be seeing those all-time high points. The potential for another wave up for that all-time high point to be hit, and obviously you guys, I think you guys know that I'm pretty bullish indeed on ADA, and I have been. And you guys, if you haven't done your research on ADA, just type in Cardano Africa on YouTube and watch their video. They're doing some amazing stuff over the next 5 to 10 years. So yeah, in terms of a hodl for ADA, not in terms of swing trades, it's a pretty good deal, right? It's a pretty good goddamn deal, and it's pretty cheap right now. It's pretty cheap, I must say. Yeah, worst comes to worst, if we don't find a level of support here and we don't see this trade play off around that 25% for ADA, that'd be juicy indeed. If we don't see that and we do see the resistance, as you can see, we have seen heavy levels of resistance continuously off this point, and that's why I said it's crucial, right? It's absolutely crucial. We see that break to the upside. We see that support being formed if we are looking for that price action to the upside, right? If we don't, if we lose it, as you can see, pretty heavy here. Pretty heavy. We are going to see that heavy downwards point, but we do have this. We do have all the major moving averages coming through here, right? So we are likely to find a nice level of support on these guys, and that would basically mean we are going to see that progression to the upside from there. If potential bounce points, if we do lose, we haven't found support on it yet, but if we do see that imminent rejection, I would be looking at bounce points on this 55 and this primarily this 200. Right, first I'd probably expect to skir on the 20, on the 21 there. But yeah, in terms of key points to hold, it would be this higher low point that we've got coming through here. To hold that, that's ideal. It would basically show that we're solid. I could potentially see us coming down. It wouldn't be an imminent crash. Obviously, if Bitcoin starts falling off a cliff, then ADA is obviously going to follow suit, right? Because they all do that in terms of Bitcoin dominance and stuff. So yeah, if we are going to fall off a cliff here, the bounce point, it would be this lower high point correlating with this upward sloping support line coming through here at this giant ascending triangle to the upside here. So I would be looking at a potential bounce point from here for ADA if we are to see that insane resistance as we've seen here. And guys, to be honest, I wouldn't count it out. I wouldn't count it out in terms of possibility for it happening, because it could happen, right? It could happen. It's pretty likely to happen. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But yeah, in terms of an accumulation point, that would be pretty good. Would be pretty good. Worst case scenario, we break to the downside here and we lose this ascending triangle. If that does happen for ADA, we could be looking at potential downward spike for ADA. Great accumulation point in my opinion. I have been accumulating every time that we come down because I'm very bullish for the long term here. And if it's just if the price is going down, I'm just going to be accumulating all the way down continuously. Even if we are in a bear market, I'm just trying to stack as much ADA as possible, because I know the next time that we go into a bear market, a bull market, if I've got loads and loads, this channel is way underrated. The way you explain charts is so well. Oh, thanks, man, means a lot. But yeah, if we are to see ADA come down, right, and sorry, I was on about me accumulating, right? Even if I'm accumulating the whole time through the bear market, when we get to that bull market again, I'm going to have so much ADA. It's just going to be insane gains, right? It's going to be insane hodl gains, right? And I do believe ADA has got a long way to go, right? We got a long way to go, right? So yeah, that's my opinion on ADA in terms of the fundamental side of it. But yeah, if you want to do your own research, it would be key on that YouTube Cardano Africa, right? do some research there. But yeah, on the worst case scenario, if we do dump to the downside, we would be looking at a measure move, something along the lines of this, around that 28%, and that's obviously the greedy measure move from that. Not it's the most recent downtrend, but in terms of a downtrend that we would be seeing, if we were to see it come down like this, it would potentially look something along the lines of this. Obviously, in speculation of where we're going to break along this downside of this ascending triangle coming through here, in terms of a percent for that trade, in terms of a short position, we would be looking at around probably 10-15% around that point there. But as you can see, we do obviously have all these horizontal support points coming through. So if we are to see bounces off there, we do need to think about taking hefty chunks of profit all the way down until we're looking at that completion of that measure move there. Yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of price action there for the old ADA. Right, I'm done with ADA now. In terms of a short-term target, just quickly, it would be to get over this point here, get over that $1.83 and hold the line there, But if not, it would be basically holding this high low point here. But it is likely we are to see the resistance, so don't be shocked if we do see some ADA dumpage right now. And in terms of how much they're up right now, they're only up literally 1.84%, right? And the Cardano Africa, I lost my voice then. The Cardano Africa stuff is still a long way away. It's not happening like it is happening right now, but it's not like it's going to be like 5 years. It's going to be like 5 years, right? So yeah, it's not going to be insane pumps quickly. But I think a lot of people are realizing and adding up the fundamentals together for ADA, and it's going to boom. It's going to boom, right? Let me yeah, Bitcoin dominance is falling to alts rising. Yes, I do agree. At this point in time for Bitcoin right now, we have actually just kind of lost this we've just lost this horizontal support line. Not good at all. If we get a candle close below this, a few hourly candles close below that, then that is really not good, right? We are going to see a reverse in the trend, potentially coming down. And yeah, it's dumping as I'm talking, right? Potentially coming down, hopefully getting a bounce off this point here. And as you can see, we do have quite a lot of resistance off this point here. So if we can get a level of support and a bounce off this 37,434 mark, it would be ideal for a bounce point there. That's ideal. If not, I would be looking at coming back down to this downward sloping trend line that we got coming through here of this giant channel. This giant channel that we got coming through here. So yeah, that would be a potential bounce point for Bitcoin there. But as I said earlier, on the RSI, right, we are pretty overextended, right? We were pretty overextended, so we are seeing that rejection in the price. But in terms of actually a downtrend, what's going to happen here, we do have this pretty dominant level of support, as I was saying previously on the MACD here, right, to think about in terms of a trend reversal. And we were discussing this the other day when we were around that 36 sort of zone. And I was like, look, if we are going to see this this downtrend play out quite strongly, we are going to see basically we're hopefully going to see a bounce point and find support off this point here on the MACD here. So that's basically an indication where we're going to see that reverse in the price. And I said, look, we're potentially going to come down, test this grey box zone, and then basically see that progression rate to the upside there if we're going to find support on the MACD here. So that was a crucial point to watch, and we did see that play out pretty nicely indeed, right? Pretty nicely indeed. But yeah, in terms of short term right now, I would be looking at holding this line, and we have just crossed it up again in terms of the support point, which we're trying to find, right? In this horizontal support point we're trying to find, then I can see the progression rate from there. I mean, it's not the end of the world because we haven't eradicated this this higher low that we've got coming through here, and we have set another higher low in terms of this candle. We didn't quite get there in terms of eradicating it there, but we do have this lower high it's pretty high, right? It's pretty high to get over. So yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of a target there for BTC on the old short term. Guys, if you've got any requests, smash them in the chat, and I will get to them. I'll get to them. I do actually want to jump to BNB because BNB has been doing pretty well indeed, right? Pretty well indeed. Personally, I do hold quite a bit of BNB, right? Pretty greedy on BNB when it was dumping like crazy because I'm very bullish on it in terms of the fundamentals, in terms of the blockchain technology that they do, in terms of their fees, right? They're really cheap. How do you get that mini toolbar? What this juicy thing here, right? Yeah, I can't tell you how long I was Googling. I was Googling so much to try and work out how to do it right. But what you need to do, I think you need to press this, I don't know if you can see it on my screen, 1 second. Yeah, in the bottom right, you've got a favorite thing, right? Yeah, that's a favorite thing. Yeah, so you click that favorite thing, and it basically brings the toolbar up and down. But you'll probably start off, and there'll be hardly anything there. So what you need to do, you need to go to your tools, and then you basically need to favorite each one of these. It's very handy indeed. In terms of the main thing that I use every day. But yeah, I know the feeling when you're googling something for TradingView. You're never going to find it, right? You're never going to find it unless someone basically shows you, right? So yeah, that's definitely a key thing to do, right? Very good stuff indeed in terms of quick access, especially if you're streaming, right? Quick access, right? Because I'll be looking over the screen. That's just long stuff, really long. But yeah, in terms of BNB right now, I love it. There's a BNB right now. I love it. No, it's testing pretty crucial levels of resistance here. As you can see here, we do have these lower high points coming through here. So we are looking at hopefully finding support there. But I wouldn't be too excited right now because we have just seen insane pumps to the upside from there. In the last day or so, we have literally pumped 15% or something along the lines of that there, right? So yeah, it would be wise to have some sort of correction point along this sort of line here, along this horizontal support line that we're, sorry, horizontal resistance point that we're, horizontal resistance line. My wisdom teeth are absolutely killing me, guys. Sorry if I'm being a bit slurry, right? Yeah, I can see some sort of consolidation period happening here because obviously we have near enough gone parabolic here on the 4 hour. So we do need a consolidation period happening here for that to be healthy, to see some sort of some sort of leg up for the future. But yeah, as I said, crucial point in terms of the lower high point to get over. If we could find a level of support at this point, potentially consolidating with this horizontal resistance point at that 431 there, that's going to be ideal. Basically correlating with the 200 moving average coming down as well on the 4 hour. So yeah, crucial we hold this line. If we don't, we are going to see that resistance, right? We are going to see that resistance, and I will be seeing a potential bounce coming off at around this 379 mark. Ideally, we actually find a resistance there, and we have that correction period of this massive pump, and then we see another leg up, and we try again, right? We try again in terms of that pump to the upside, but we know the momentum's there, right? Seeing this is very good. It's very good indeed. Obviously, it helps for Bitcoin. I'll get into Luna in a sec. It does help to Bitcoin. It does help because of obviously Bitcoin's going up, so it is going to pull up BNB with it. But this, in terms of behaving abnormally compared to a lot of the other altcoins there, BNB has actually done very, very well indeed, right? Very, very well indeed in terms of a percent for that gain to the upside. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, crucial target right now would be to stay where we are and not dump, right? If we are to dump, I would be looking for a bounce at around that 379 mark. I hope we don't lose that. If we lose that, then it's not good at all. But in terms of positive talk right now, we have literally eradicated this lower high coming through here, which is very good. It basically shows that we're bullish, and it shows that we're seeing that uptrend basically play out, continuously setting these high lows. Very, very nice indeed. And these are big candles, right? They're big candles. So if we need to eradicate these high lows coming through here, we're going to need to see pretty big dumps to the downside. Pretty big dumps to the downside there. So yeah, a lot less unlikely. But yeah, as you can see here, we're oversold, right? We're oversold on the RSI, so that's another indication that we are going to come down. Near-lesh, I'll get onto KSF for you, no, not a problem at all. We are going to see that progression to the downside pretty soon, right? Hopefully not too much, and we do see some sort of bounce point pretty early on rather than coming all the way down here, because if we do come down here and lose this horizontal support point here at that 379, I would be looking at progression to the downside and seeing that reversal a reversal in the trend coming to something. Probably looking along the lines of that before testing some moving average come to the downside right there. But yeah, key targets right now would be to hold where we're at, right? Would be to hold where we're at. But yeah, take into account we are overextended on the RSI in terms of buying power, right? Let me jump to BNB as a monster. Yes, sir. Yes, it is a monster. Very bullish for the long term for BNB. I do think we are going to see some sort of mirror in the price for Ethereum, right? But it just needs to get a little bit more established, and Ethereum needs to basically back off. Back off Ethereum. Ethereum needs to back off a bit, but we're all basically waiting on their announcement. I think they might be doing layer 2 protocol or something back in it might be in July, I think it is, or something. So around that time, right? So we're waiting for that key announcement for Ethereum, and that is definitely going to have an effect on the price of BNB, right? Because if they say, oh look, we can't actually sort our fees out, BNB is going to soar, right? Because BNB's fees are literally nothing. The BNB smart chain is very, very easy to use as well. Very, very easy to use as well. So yeah, that's one thing over Ethereum. But yeah, let me jump to Luna there for you. Shivash, yeah, Shivash. Let's jump to Luna there for Shivash there. God, it's so hard with wisdom teeth. It's coming through. It's awful, absolutely awful. Yeah, let me get rid of these trend lines here coming through. But yeah, as you can see, got rid of the indicator. As you can see here, we are seeing that progression to the upside, continuously setting these high lows. Very, very nice indeed. We are currently trying to find a nice level of support here on the 55 moving average, which is nice to see, right? Which is very nice to see indeed. If we are going to see this support play out, and we are going to see a nice few 4-hourly candle closes here, then it's looking good in terms of progression, right? In terms of the next rejection point, it would be this $7.80 zone. I would be looking at basically some resistance from there, potentially coming down and testing this 55. In terms of what's happening right now, it is crucial. It's crucial we hold this 55 because that's going to basically give us a bit more momentum to progress to the upside. If we don't hold the 55, I would be looking at coming down and testing this zone that we've got coming through here, where we can see obviously pretty resistance playing out there. So I would be looking at a potential bounce from that 6.64 zone. TRX's Tron has the lowest fees, so good for transferring. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I haven't actually used Tron for transferring, but yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Hush it there. I'll definitely look into that because obviously I like learning continuously about all this stuff, right? So yeah, thanks for that, bro. But yeah, at this point in time, target for Luna would be to basically hold this 55, hold its zone. Let's jump down to the shorter time frames here, because as you can see, we are seeing this this trend basically curl over, right? This trend basically curl over, but it doesn't surprise me at all because we have seen insane pumps, right? We've seen those insane pumps to the upside, so I can see us having that little bit of a retracement, right? We need that healthy consolidation retracement, probably, hopefully not coming down as low as the 221 on the hourly here, but as you can see, we do have a potential bounce point, as I was just saying, with these candles coming up, right? With these candles coming up, we do have a potential bounce point around that $6 sort of zone, right? Let me jump to that 1 hour again. Yeah, around that $6 sort of zone, right? So we are looking at potential bounce point in terms of everything correlating together, in terms of seeing that reversal again in the trend. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we did come down there, but it's looking pretty positive in terms of actual candle behavior right now. Granted, yes, we have seen that curl over, we have seen that high point we get formed here, and we have seen these lower highs get formed here, but we're seeing that momentum. It does look like it is curling back round. It does look like it's curling back round. We did see this lower low point get set, and right now we have seen, I don't think we quite got there in terms of another low point in terms of that trend. So no, we haven't. We have actually set a lower high there. So it does look like we are going to progress and see that reversing the trend to the upside there. And that's very, very good indeed. Very good indeed. High 10s only. The OG out here. Nice to see you back on the stream. And let's have a look for Skydimex Ethereum fees. Oh my god, yeah, they're awful, aren't they? But yeah, KSM is next for Neelesh. But yeah, in short-term targets right now for Luna, it would be holding this 55, as I just said there, which isn't. It's not looking bad, right? It's not looking bad at all. In terms of high lows being continuously set, and yeah, next target point would be that $7.82. In terms of what's happening on the RSI right now, it's not so bad. Obviously, we're not fully overextended in terms of buying power right now, so we're not going to see that retracement in the price. But we're getting there, right? We're getting there. If we are going to see a potential test of this $7.82 zone, we are going to get to that overextended point, right? When we get to the overextended point, we all know what happens. We fall, right? We fall. So we are looking at some resistance off this point in terms of referencing this indicator, right? Definitely something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Definitely something to consider when trading the old Luna, right? In terms of what's happening in like chart patterns and stuff, obviously we do have a pretty dominant trend coming through, dominant trend line, upwards sloping support line coming through here. So if we are looking at a crucial bounce point before seeing if we are going to see a reverse in the trend, right, it would be holding this zone right at around that $6.35 mark. But yeah, as I said, we do have crucial levels of support coming through at around this point here. So yeah, that would be the bounce point target for me. But yeah, let's jump to KSM for Neelesh there. Nice to see you on the stream again, Neelesh. KSM. Very, very nice. Not bad at all. And as you can see, we're testing this crucial point, which I have been stressing about, because obviously this is this lower high point in terms of this insane downtrend coming through here. Insane sell-off that we have coming through here. But you can see KSM does have a lot of recovery, a lot of confidence, a lot of buying back power in the market there. And the reason why this lower high point is pretty crucial in terms of what we're testing right now is you can see the resistance that we're getting off it, right? You can see the resistance we're getting off it, and that did actually mean that we came down a heck of a lot further, than that, a lot further, right? We came down a lot further, seeing a big level of resistance here. So I wouldn't count out the chances of even closing above this horizontal support line at 407 here. I wouldn't count that out in terms of getting some resistance from there and losing the 200. I would not be shocked at all. And I do think this zone playing out on a lot of the charts is going to shock a lot of people in terms of resistance, right? Hey, I could be wrong, but at this point in time, we can see the history playing out. We can see the history playing out, and also on Bitcoin as well. Let me bring that up properly. On Bitcoin as well, we do... As you can see here, it's just heavy resistance continuously, and that basically caused off this massive sell-off again, right? Obviously, and we're really far away from it on Bitcoin, so ideally, if we're going to be comparing the two here, I would be looking for a pump in Bitcoin to help this smash through that zone, right? Help this smash through that zone. That's going to be absolutely ideal. But yeah, in terms of targets right now, we are near enough. Yeah, we're overbought right now in terms of this buying power, and I'm not surprised, right? I'm not surprised because look at these pumps, right? Absolutely the same pumps, up 16% so far. Very, very nice indeed. Yeah, somewhere around that point. Oh, it's actually up 19% in terms of this current trend after that consolidation period. But yeah, in terms of the daily right now, we are up 16% there. But yeah, right now, it's not looking bad at all. I would be looking for a nice level of consolidation here if we don't find that resistance coming through. But yeah, I would be looking at a nice consolidation zone here. Just continuously testing it, that would be nice. And hopefully basically holding it and pushing to the upside. But yeah, crucial point would be... for this zone now, in this grey box zone, it's pretty crucial. Yeah, so I would be watching this. I would be watching this quite heavily, and I wouldn't weigh out the chances of not a crash, right? Not a crash, but some heavy resistance there. And I would be looking for a bounce point at this 55 and this price action channel, this 21 coming through here. And yeah, this consolidation zone, as you can see, we would have a nice level of support below it, right? We do have a level of support below it, and we know it holds, right? After a lot of these 4-hourly candles here, probably around a day that we had around chilling around here, so we know we do have a nice level of support there. So if we are to dump down and see that resistance, hopefully we've got a nice safety net correlating with the 55 coming through up here. So yeah, very, very nice stuff to see. But yeah, it's going up as I'm talking, which is nice as well there. But yeah, no, I didn't look at XMR, but I will jump onto that for you there, Wasim. And you are the happy man guy. Happy man. But yeah, I remember your comment actually. You said you didn't know the reference. It's literally just a thing that me and my brother do. You know, our siblings have weird things like that. But yeah, in terms of what's happening now, in terms of this uptrend cycle on KSM right now, I would be looking at some sort of price reversal, and that's kind of an indication that we are going to see a bit of resistance here. If we are to break to the upside in terms of this trend right now, in terms of breaking this cycle, that would be very nice. My next target would be this higher high point to get over there. But in terms of that, we would be looking at coming over and breaking this grey box zone to the upside, right? But don't be surprised if we don't do that and we do see the resistance and the trend kind of fizzle out from there, because as you can see, as I just said, we are overextended on the RSI there as well. So yeah, a few things to consider there for KSM there, sir. Oh god, I need some more water here. And guys, if you're enjoying the stream, smash that thumbs up button, turn that thumbs up blue, helps me out tremendously in terms of the YouTube algos, and I need a helping hand here. But yeah, thanks a lot for returning to the stream again, guys. It means a lot. Let me jump to what was next. What's your thoughts on EOS? EOS, baby. Let me jump to that. Have I got my watch list? Yeah, I do. I mean, we are consolidating, and we haven't really followed the trend, right? We haven't really followed the trend in terms of pumping, right? In terms of pumping to the upside, it's not been the best. It's not been the best. I'm not going to say it's been amazing, right? I'm not going to say it's absolutely amazing here, but yeah, we haven't really followed the trend and such. And we could be potentially looking at a little sideways price channel coming through here. So yeah, in terms of the top side of that, I would be looking at that $6.71 there in terms of potential resistance points to think about. Oh, I see, right. Yeah, no worries, man. That's for Wasim then. But yeah, I would be looking at a potential rejection point from that zone there. As you can see, we are seeing that heavy resistance from this horizontal resistance point at the top side of this channel. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked there. And as you can see, this consolidation zone, you might be thinking, oh, it's a bit annoying that EOS hasn't pumped with everything else, right? But yeah, it's only up like 1.5% today. But still, this pump, this buying power that we have coming through here, that's very healthy indeed, very, very healthy indeed, and a very key point for this high here. Even though we've come back down and we've claimed it, we've claimed this lower high point, we did actually see that we could get over it in terms of buying momentum. So that definitely gives hope for the future in terms of this recharge period we're having here, right? In terms of this recharge period, this consolidation zone. If it was going to have that continuation to the downside, we would have seen that already, I do believe. We would have seen that already. But yeah, I would just be looking in terms of a short-term target to get over this horizontal resistance point at that $6.72 before seeing that progression to the upside, right? That's what I would be looking at. In terms of a measure move right now to the upside, referencing this channel that we've got coming through here, and by the looks of it, you're pretty central on the RSI there, so it's not looking bad at all. It's pretty expected if you're in that consolidation period. But yeah, if you're looking for a measure move to the upside in terms of a potential long position for yourself there, sir, it does correlate pretty well, pretty goddamn well with the top side of this wick that we've got coming through here, right, in terms of a resistance point. So that is as an indication we are looking at a potential good trade there to come through. And we would be looking at a break, obviously, on speculation of where we're going to break along the top side of this channel coming through here. But yeah, in terms of a measure move, in terms of percent for this trade, we would be looking at something along the lines of 14%, which is very, very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed in terms of a percent for that trade, right? But I would be looking at taking levels of profit, right? Levels of profit, I would be taking a nice probably 25%. Oh no, we do have this 200 coming down as well, so I would be looking at taking probably around 50% at this point here. Probably about 35%. We'll see how we're going at the time in terms of referencing a few of the indicators coming together. Yeah, probably around 35%, just looking at the top of my head there. And then I would be looking for that progression to the upside and seeing that completion in terms of a take profit sat around that $7.65 mark there. But yeah, at this point in time, I would be looking at a target of getting up there at least before even trying to find support on there. But yeah, it's not so bad, bro. It's not so bad. I wouldn't be. I think if you were going to have that continuation to the downside, you would have seen that already because the consolidation zone is so big, right? I think you would have seen it already in terms of the consolidation period to the downside. And look, you are setting these higher lows continuously, so it's not bad, right? It's not bad at all. It's not looking too bad. But yeah, in terms of potential trend line coming through here. You do have the level of support. This bringing you up continuously, right? That is bringing you up continuously. If you are going to lose that, to the downside, you would be losing these major moving averages coming through as well, and this price action channel we got coming through here as well. So yeah, I would be looking, if you are to lose that, right, I would be looking at progression to the downside and touching the lower side of this channel before seeing that progression to the upside. So yeah, I would be watching that crucial point here in terms of wicking to the downside and eradicating this higher lows coming through here, and that is around that $6.23 mark. If you're getting candle closes below this trend line coming through here, I would be looking at progression to the downside. So yeah, watch when that candle closes for that 4 hour, because you are going to see a swift reversal in that trend there. Very good indeed. Very good indeed. Not too bad. But ideal, you hold the support and you start smashing these resistance points that I've got planned out here, right? Let me have a look at XMR for Wasim. I've been going for an hour now. I'm going to be going for an hour now, but I'm gonna take a short break in a minute, guys, and then I'll be jumping back on for you guys and doing some more TA. So yeah, if you just want to load the chat up with altcoins, that you can absolutely do. That's not a problem at all. And we'll have a look at Coty there for harsh shit again. And yeah, this as you can see here for Monero, I'm very bullish on Monero and have been for quite a while, right? As you can see here, we do have this upward sloping support line coming through here, pretty strong in terms of holding it and finding that nice level of support in it there. Very nice indeed to see. Very nice indeed to see in terms of what's going on, right? In terms of what's going on and holding the line in a sense, right? In terms of holding the line, it does look very ascending triangle, right? It does look very, very ascending triangle. If I plan that out perfectly for you go there, guys, it's a lot more easy to see. It does look very ascending triangle-like, so we could be looking at a move to the upside, but we obviously do have these crucial, like I say on it's more or less every chart, right? These crucial lower high points to think about before we see that progression to the upside. But yeah, in terms of a measure move for that, I don't think it's going to be so big. That would be the steepest and most reliable there in terms of an uptrend, so we could move that around here. But yeah, take into account we do have horizontal resistance points pretty played out at that $306 and also this 200 moving average coming through here as well. I think Monero is going to shock a lot of people over the next year or so. I do think we have not a long way to go with it, but I don't mean a long way to go with it in terms of upwards momentum. I do think it's going to shock a lot of people, saying we have a lot of price growth to achieve with Monero, right? If you look at the supply, and it actually has a use, right? It's used primarily on the dark net, and I read it in an article that it's used primarily on the dark net. So I was like, yeah, that's definitely a good buy, and I bought it around $80 or something, and it's obviously you can see it's doing very well indeed. So I do think in terms of altcoins, in terms of if we are going to go into a bear market, obviously we are going to see a reduction in the price, but Monero is a hodl for me, right? I do think we are going to see some insane growth in the future, and the supply is really, really low, right? It's like in the early millions. It's kind of mirrors Bitcoin supply, maybe around 18 million around that point. But yeah, so I do think we are going to see some insane gains for that, but the market cap will obviously have to come with that. I do think we're like top 30 cryptos. I think it's around that point there. So yeah, maybe even closer, maybe even 20 there. But yeah, I do think Monero has got some insane growth in terms of fundamentals, right? In terms of where price targets that we can get through. I think we just need to get over this zone first and then see that progression to the upside. We did already go through ADA near Lesh, but I can jump onto that for you in a minute, and I'll just do a really, really insanely quick commentator sort of update for you there. But I'm gonna shoot for a little break here, but yeah, I'll be back very shortly, guys, to carry on the charts for you there. But yeah, any other charts, any other altcoins, smash them in the chat there, and I will jump onto that as soon as I can, right? But yeah, I'll just quickly go through. I would be looking at a target here of getting over this zone here and smashing out this lower high. If we are going to lose that, we do know we have this this nice level of support coming through here in terms of a catch point. I don't think we are going to lose that to the downside here. If we are to lose that to the downside, worst case scenario, we will be looking at a measure move coming down like this on the small term sort of stuff like that, right? Small term sort of stuff, potential bounce points at these high low points continuously, right? We've got high low points continuously showing how healthy it is to the upside. So yeah, we would be looking at continual bounce points coming through here in terms of if we are going to fall to the downside. So it's not looking so bad in my opinion, And also we're not overextended on the RSI here. We're pretty central. So yeah, it's not looking bad. I don't think we're going to fall to the downside anytime soon. But obviously, if Bitcoin falls off a cliff, so is Monero, right? Because that's obviously just how it works. But yeah, not overextended, not overextended in terms of buying power, and not underextended in terms of selling power. So it was pretty central, not too bad. But yeah, I would be watching that pretty abruptly if we are going to be breaking to the upside here. That is an indication if we do get overbought here, we would be looking at that resistance and potentially a downswing to the top side of this. Trend line coming through here on the top side of this ascending triangle, right? So definitely something to think about, right? Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to shoot for a little respect my king, respect SkyDMX. Nice to see you on the stream here every day, bro. It means a lot. But yeah, I'm going to shoot for a little break now, and I'll be back very shortly. But yeah, any other, I will do Coty for you after the break there, harsh shit. But yeah, and then also 88 for you there, Neelesh. Thank you, my man. Not a problem at all. Is there any chance of me becoming a channel moderator in the future? Love watching you and your brother's streams. Potentially, man. Potentially, man. Obviously, I did get absolutely swarmed by that Richard guy the other day, spamming the chat, which was really annoying. But I mean, personally, at this point in time, I've got 15 viewers, right? I don't think I need a moderator for 15 viewers. So yeah, in the future, I'll definitely keep you there. Yeah, obviously on the chat, bro. Obviously on the chat. Just obviously cancelling out scammers and spammers and all that stuff there. But yeah, I'll definitely put you your first reserve. I'll put it like that, right? But yeah, so yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I'll just shoot off for a break now, guys. I'll be back shortly indeed. Thanks again for watching. And guys, if you're enjoying the stream, smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out tremendously again. Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Chester. Thank you for sticking around. I am back from the break now. Without further ado, let's just get straight into it again. Right, let me just bring up the chat here. Let me bring up the chat and I'll see what I had on my list there. I think it was for Nearlesh for AD. No, it was for Harshit for Koti there. So I'll do Koti first and then I'll be jumping to ADA there for Nearlesh. Koti? Yeah, Koti. Yeah, straight on it like that. And yeah, as you can see here, we are setting these high-low points continuously to the upside. We have seen a nice amount of growth today. In terms of growth for that growth right there, it's not too bad at all in terms of the start of the day. We're looking at like 13% growth. That's pretty good, I must say. Pretty good indeed. I would be looking at a crucial point, which would be this lower high point coming through here, and that is going to be a crucial level of resistance I think that we do need to break. We are currently testing it, which is good to see. It's good to see that we've got that upwards momentum. We found support on this horizontal support point at this 24 cents there. Ideal scenario, we hold it, right? We hold it for the next 2 hours, this 4-hourly candle, and then we see a few more 4-hourly candle closes there, level out this insane pump which we've had here, have that consolidation period, and then look for that next leg up, hopefully finding a nice level of support on this 200 moving average coming down as well. Yeah, so yeah, the target would be this point here, but then also you do need to think about this point here as well in terms of a resistance point. In terms of like a symmetrical triangle that I can pretty see coming through here, we are currently testing the top side of the symmetrical triangle that we've got playing out. I would be looking at hopefully finding a lot of support here. If we can, that's going to be ideal. That's going to be absolutely ideal. But if we can't, I would be looking at rejection. Right? I would be looking at rejection potentially coming to the bottom side of this symmetrical triangle we've got playing out here. Ideally, we don't want to be breaking it to the downside, because if we're breaking it to the downside, we are going to see that reverse in the price. Right? We're going to see that reverse in the price, and then we're going to be eradicating some of these high-low points coming up through here, which is at the moment it's looking very healthy, right? Very healthy indeed. We did eradicate this one, as you can see, but we have seen that reversal, and we're seeing these high-low points get basically created continuously, which is very good indeed. And that would be basically the price targets to eradicate if we were going to be looking at a potential short there. In terms of percentages, right? In terms of percentages for that coming through. Sorry, I thought I was muted then, but no, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, you're on about the BTC event in Miami? Yeah. I mean, in terms of events, right, every time, well, 90% of the time that I've seen events basically happen, it usually just dumps the price, right? We usually see a retracement in the price. But yeah, hopefully this one is going to be different because we all know Bitcoin needs it, right? Bitcoin does need it. But yeah, hopefully we can see a pump in the price, but I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a dump in the price after an event, right? Because a lot of people jump into it thinking it's going to pump, but and then they basically like, oh no, it didn't pump, and then everyone just starts selling, right? Just kind of how it works. It's a bit annoying, but yeah, so I would be expecting a retracement in the price there. What is Bitcoin actually doing right now? We're actually kind of we found a nice little support on that support point there, which is nice. We are consolidating after this pump here. Very good stuff for Bitcoin. We do need that to happen if we are going to look at this potential for coming to the upside here, and it is giving the RSI a little cool off period, right? Because as we did discuss a second ago, we were near enough overbought there. So yeah, it's a nice cool off period there for Bitcoin. Hair in my face. A nice cool off period there for Bitcoin in terms of the consolidation zone. That very good indeed in terms of live price. But yeah, in terms of Koti here, in terms of a measure move to the upside, in terms of a long trade coming through, we would need to basically break this trend line coming down here, and then we would be seeing that progression to the upside. If we're seeing that progression to the upside in terms of a trade, we would be looking at around that 14% gain there. But take into account, as I said, we do have these key lower high points to think about, right? These key lower high points to think about in terms of where the candle's closing here. So we would be looking at taking profit continuously before looking at that completion of the measure move, right? But with that being said, it is highly likely that we don't see the completion of the measurement before we see some sort of a retracement or potential consolidation period there. So that's why we're going to be taking profit all the way up if we're looking at entering that long there. So yeah, definitely something to consider, guys. Definitely something to consider in terms of that Koti there. And to the upside, in terms of the downside, right? In terms of the downside, we would be looking at potentially something very small indeed, looking like that, and then probably coming down and testing this lower high point that we've got around this point here, around that 20 cents there. So yeah, in terms of short-term targets we've got coming through, I would like to see us break this symmetrical triangle, right? I would like to see us break the symmetrical triangle and have the continuation of momentum, and then potentially have a consolidation period around this zone here, and then we can get a lovely entry in here before we see that progression to the upside, right? But we do need things to chill out in terms of the RSI, in terms of these insane swings that we've got coming to the upside here, near enough parabolic, right? So we're likely to see some sort of retracement, right? But we need to get a little bit higher, see that retracement, find a level of support on the top side of the symmetrical triangle, and then go from there. That's the kind of ideal scenario, right? Absolute ideal scenario there for Koti. In terms of a short-term target, if we do actually finding resistance off this top side of the symmetrical triangle, I would be looking at support at this 24 cent 6. I just read hand sanitizer on it. It's awful. It's going everywhere. But yeah, we would be looking at a nice level of support here. As you can see, we do have some major candle closers there to think about. So yeah, hopefully a consolidation period here if we are looking for a retrace after this insane pump that we had today, right? So yeah, consolidation period along this line before looking for that next leg up. That's the ideal scenario for that. Let me jump to ADA there for, I think it was Nearlesh, yeah. Nearlesh, yeah. ADA there for Nearlesh. Yeah, as I said earlier, right? As I said earlier, we do have this this ascending triangle to the upside, right? This ascending triangle to the upside, we are testing these crucial points, right? These crucial points right now for ADA at that $1.79, 72 there. It is looking pretty, I mean, if we were going to see a rejection, I think we would have potentially seen it already, because we have seen quite a few candles playing out here on the, and remember guys, we are on the 4-hour thing here, so literally that's 12 candles testing it continuously. So we are looking at that break to the upside. If we're seeing that break to the upside, I would be looking at the next target would be this horizontal zone up here, right? And that's $1.94. And if we do get over that, that's ideal, and that's when we're going to be looking at seeing some new all-time high potential targets, right? Some new all-time high potential targets in terms of momentum to get up to that point. That's the ideal scenario for 88. If we can get a nice close above that, if we can't get a close above that, we are going to see the resistance, right? But as I said, we have just seen 12 hours of pretty flaccid movements for ADA. So yeah, I would be inclined to say that we are going to come up through this point, but we do need to take into account here the heavy resistance that we see here, the heavy resistance from this horizontal resistance point, right? So we could out of nowhere just come down, right? Come down pretty heavily indeed, smashing through these higher low points. But yeah, definitely a few things to think about. And watching the price here pretty imminently, right? Watching the price pretty imminently, and we do have a downward sloping resistance line coming through on the RSI here to think about as well, right? Yes, we haven't quite got there, but it's an indication that if we do see a bit more buying power to the upside, we're likely to see some resistance. The reason why we're likely to see some resistance is because also we're getting to that overbought point as well for the RSI here. So we're getting to that overbought point as well, correlating with this downward sloping resistance line. So it's likely we are going to see some sort of retrace in the price, right? That's wrong. Some sort of retrace in the price, right? So definitely something to think about in terms of the selling power for ADA, and correlating that with the chart. I mean, it's likely that we are going to potentially come up to this point here, and that's sat at around that $1.85 before seeing some sort of retracement. Hopefully we get a bounce off this currently horizontal resistance point. So hopefully we can find a nice level of support off that in the future. But yeah, key point would be getting over that zone, and just continuously testing it and not finding that resistance. If we are going to find a resistance, I would be looking at a bounce point on this 21 moving average to start off with at $1.70. But you need to take into account, right, that we have seen these pumps, right? These pumps are pretty big indeed, right? And we have just been continuously setting higher lows all the way up in terms of this uptrend we got coming through here. So yeah, it's likely we are going to come down, and we are going to have some consolidation period around this point before getting a momentum to break up. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we did see a break up and we were consolidating on the top side of this horizontal currently resistance point as well. That's the ideal scenario, right, for ADA. But yeah, what's next? What's next on the list here? Let me just have a drink quickly. Man, I want to become a member. Yeah, I want to do memberships and stuff like that. Of what Hammy does on his he's got all the icons for girthy boys and all of that stuff. But obviously I'm still a new YouTuber and stuff, and I haven't got no monetization yet. I need like 4,000 hours watch time before I can even do any cool stuff like that, right? So yeah, the first thing I will be doing is going to be a group Discord where we can all basically sit in together and trade together on a daily basis, which I think would be quite cool in terms of building a community. That'd be the first thing I'm going to do. And then after that, I want to be doing some like trade challenges, right? I want to be doing like, right, we're all going to start with $10 and we're all going to be trading and try and get that $10 to like 10 grand and stuff. I think that'd be really quite cool for all of us to do it together in terms of like a community, helping each other out, getting everyone's insight continuously. I think it'd be quite cool doing something like that. And not a lot of people do stuff like that in terms of like YouTube live streaming and stuff. So yeah, that's something I want to do as well. But yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up button and turn that thumbs up blue. Helps me out tremendously. Any requests, member on Hammy? Are you a member on Hammies? Yeah. I think I'm a member on Hammies as well, right? XRP or Sol, if it's not done already. I did XRP. I haven't done Sol, I don't think. So yeah, let's jump to Sol there. And that's for Nearlesh out there. And as you can see, we do have this symmetrical triangle coming through for Sol. And we have seen pretty good growth for Sol right now. Pretty good growth in terms of the daily right now. In terms of the daily right now, as you can see, we have seen a pretty juicy candle to the upside, right? We are testing the 55 on the daily, so that's primarily why we're finding a bit of resistance here. And also we are kind of correlating near enough with this lower high point coming through here with that insane downtrend that we that we actually encountered before that massive panic sell-off, right? But as you can see, the symmetrical triangle that we've got coming through here is played out. It's played out pretty good, and it's, in my opinion, it's quite an attractive one. It's quite an attractive one. It's got nice legs. It's quite an attractive trade pattern. It's got these juicy trend lines coming through here. And a lot of touches, a lot of confirmation that it's likely to have the likelihood of playing out. But also, we are currently near this lower high point, as just stated on the daily time frame. So yeah, that would be a point to watch in terms of resistance point at 36. 36.15, definitely a point to watch for Sol. I am pretty bullish on Sol for the long term there because of the amazing blockchain stuff that they're basically got going on there. So yeah, I do think we do have a long way to go for Sol in terms of price action, in terms of gains, right? So yeah, I do think we are going to get a substantial amount of gains if you're hodling Sol, right? In terms of measure moves right now, in terms of a long position for this symmetrical triangle playing out, I mean, to be honest with you, we are on the 4 hourly, and we do like to see that entry point come down, retest the symmetrical triangle coming through here. And then we'd be looking at a long position coming up, and that does actually correlate with the 55 coming through here on the we did that on the 55 coming through here on the 4 hour time frame there. Sorry, I just got a text from Binance. I thought I did. I thought I was hacking my thing. But yeah, at this point in time, obviously we haven't had that retest from the symmetrical triangle, so I wouldn't be in a long position here. I would be looking to come down, find that resistance, see the reversal in the trend here, and then be looking at a potential long position off this point here to the upside. But as I said, I would be taking profit at a lot of these lower high points coming through here of that massive crypto crash that we saw there. I would be taking profit continuously all the way up, and then be taking pretty much near enough all my profit at this volume weighted ATR band, because we know how much it gets respected here in terms of a big resistance point here. If I can show you that, as you can see, we primarily just respect it continuously. So yeah, that would be a massive take profit point for me. That would be a massive take profit point for me in terms of a trade for Solar, in terms of a long position. In terms of percent for that, I would be around a 17% gain there. Very, very nice indeed. But as I said, I wouldn't be getting into that until we see a curl over, get a great entry, and then assess what's happening in terms of the momentum right there, whether we are going to get that bounce back up. Obviously referencing a few other indicators at the moment, and referencing the RSI right now, we are actually overbought quite significantly on the hourly time frame here, so we do need that retracement. I mean, that could signal that we are going to come down and test some sort of zone coming through here. And yeah, we do need to take into account we do have the 21 moving average coming up as well, so that could be a potential bounce point, potential entry point there for this long position that I'm thinking about, right? Because obviously we have smashed through the top side of this symmetrical triangle for Sol there. If we are to, on the basis we are to lose it and we are to come down, we've got a lot of support, right? We've got a lot of support on literally all the time frames in terms of moving averages, right? So I don't think we are going to be re-entering this symmetrical triangle anytime soon. If we do, we are looking at a bounce point at around this higher low point, sat at around that 29.30 sort of mark there. I would be looking at a bounce point from there, and then basically potentially having some sort of consolidation period at the end point of this symmetrical triangle. That's not the ideal scenario. That's like worst case scenario, I think. But yeah. Watch that now. If we do come back down, that would be a pretty juicy long position to think about, guys. Pretty juicy indeed. Obviously, nothing I say is financial advice. Do your own research and all that stuff. But yeah, if I can educate you guys in a potential position for you to educate yourself in, then yeah, I like doing that as well. So yeah, what was next? We did XRP, but I would do a quick XRP for you there, Neelesh, my good sir. Oh, my wisdom teeth. Killer, I must say. I've got 4 wisdom teeth coming through at the same time. So unlucky, right? So unlucky. Ascending triangle on XRP coming through on the 4 hourly here. We are looking for this crucial break to the upside here. If we can get a crucial break to the upside here and find level support, I would be looking at a target for a long position at this 200 moving average minimum, right? Minimum would be that 200 moving average. As you can see, we do have a long way to go in terms of potentially completing a measurement to the upside here, but it does kind of correlate here with this lower high coming through here, which we are going to find resistance off, right? As you can see, primarily in history, we did find a heavy level of resistance at that point, just in terms of referencing one indicator. I do think we are, and that's why I would be taking, I potentially would be taking like probably 50% of my profit at this 200 here, and then moving my stop loss up. So if we were to get back down to that point, and in a sense get stopped out, it wouldn't be negative, right? We wouldn't be losing any money, because we've taken a level of profit, and then our stop losses are higher above our entry. So we're golden, right? We're absolutely golden. And best case scenario, we do see that that rejection point from this zone here that we've got coming through here in terms of this wick, in terms of finding a level of support in that trend, in that long trade there, and then seeing that progression to the upside, and then basically taking profit at this point here, at this lower high point here, that horizontal resistance point coming through there, right? So yeah, in terms of XRP, in terms of targets right now, I would be looking at getting over this zone and finding support there. But as you can see, oh, that's the wrong tool. As you can see, on the RSI that we've got playing through here, we are literally we've got this downward sloping resistance line, right? We've got this downward sloping resistance line that we are primarily expecting. We do find a lot of resistance off it, but we did break it to the upside. Very, very good stuff indeed. That's kind of the ideal scenario right now. We broke to the upside, very, very good. That was obviously what was happening here, right? We did break to the upside, very, very nice, and we're having this consolidation period to basically make sure that this this uptrend that we had come through here in terms of price action, very steep indeed, it's actually turned into a healthy uptrend, a healthier price action there, because we've had this consolidation period to basically like reference that it's okay and we're not going to crash off a cliff. So yeah, this is the chill out period that we'd needed. In terms of what's happening on the RSI, as I was just saying, if we do come down in price, we are looking to lose this horizontal resistance point currently at $1.02. If we do come down, I would be looking at a bounce point on this support, downward sloping support line currently on the RSI, right? I would be looking at a bounce point from there in terms of buying power to the upside, and that would basically correlate with the 55 and the 21 coming through at around that 99 cent dollar. That's the 99 cent marker, right? So yeah, so that'd be a nice bounce point for me. And in terms of if we do get down to this point, we're going to be pretty central, right? We're going to be near enough bang on central for the RSI there, which is good in terms of getting more momentum to the upside if we do want to see that buyback in terms of power, right? So in terms of targets right now, I would be looking to basically chill out and stay above this zone in terms of a candle close over the next 4 hours. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad, because as you can see, high lows continuously being set, right? If we're going to see this previous 4 hourly candle high low get actually eradicated there, then I would be looking at potentially coming down and testing this 55 and 21, as I just said, referencing back on the RSI there. MATIC, Alexandru, I'll do MATIC for you there. Where are we? MATIC, man. Yeah, MATIC. We all know MATIC's been doing crazy. We know MATIC's been doing crazy in terms of recovery, in terms of buying power after the crash there. We know MATIC has really got that upwards momentum and really shocked a lot of people, right? We know they're doing their layer 2 protocol technology, I think it's called, and yeah, we've got a symmetrical triangle playing out, right? We've played it out. It's not really done. Not all chart patterns are going to play out, right? Not all symmetrical chart patterns are going to play out. So we do need to think about that in the long term, right? Because some people would have been waiting for a potential short position here, and it's just been flaccid. Nothing's been going on. It's sideways. I mean, to be honest, personally for me, MATIC does need a bit of that. It does need a bit of that. It's pretty crazy in terms of validity and stuff. It does need to chill out, right? But yeah, at this point in time, we do have this downward sloping resistance line coming from the top side here, and we would be looking, if we are going to come up and test that, that would be a pretty big resistance point. As you can see here, we are seeing heavy resistance off that point there, so we are going to potentially see some heavy resistance off that point at around that $2. Well, we're going to see resistance at $2 anyway, like, because we always do, right? We always do, as you can see here. I think we got to around $2 there, yeah, just about $2, and we just saw that resistance, that absolute smack down in the price, right? Smack down in the price, deep sea diving into the ocean, right? Deep sea diving into the ocean, into those deep trenches, right? That's what we saw when we saw that $2 mark get hit. So we do need to think about that in terms of not even getting to this downward sloping resistance line here before seeing that resistance, right? We do have this horizontal resistance line playing out here. Obviously, you can see we are seeing that resistance. It's not very heavy, right? It's not very heavy. It's just in a nice little trend line coming, not a trend line, but this channel that we've got coming through here, right? In this zone here between this horizontal support line and this horizontal resistance line, that's acting as a resistance point here. So yeah, if we are going to get over that, that would be the target to find a nice level of support at around that $1.95 before progressing up and finding that resistance at that $2. If we can get a nice consolidation period here, consolidating all the way up here before testing this downward sloping resistance line, if we can find support on that once we've consolidated here, then we would be looking at a nice potentially steep wave up to this horizontal resistance line at that $2.23, right? So that would be the target in terms of the next few days or so. I wouldn't be seeing this happen imminently, but as you can see here, MATIC, it's crazy, right? If we do see an insane surge of buying power like that, we are looking at doing that. If we are to break to the downside right now, because obviously we are seeing this candle quite bigly play out to the downside, right? We are looking at that potential the downside open to close. At this point in time, we are down 2.9% there. So yeah, potential for us to come down from there if we lose this 55 moving average on the 4 hourly, right? If we do lose that, I would be looking at a target for this horizontal support point at that $1.74. Potentially a nice little bounce point from there. As you can see, we have seen a bounce from there. We have seen a bounce from there. We have seen another bounce from there, right? So there's quite a lot of nice support playing out here in terms of this horizontal support line here. So yeah, I would be looking at KSM is pumping. Oh no. Oh no. We were looking at an entry on that, weren't we? I think so. But yeah, so yeah, in terms of a bounce point, in terms of the downside, it would be this $1.74 mark if we do lose this 55. But yeah, key point right now is to close a nice 4-hourly candle above this 55 and find that upwards momentum once again and challenge this top side in terms of a horizontal resistance line there. Right, very, very nice stuff indeed. In terms of MATIC and the RSI right now, we do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through. So if we are going to even contemplate touching that or tapping that at all, and this, we are going to need to see that upwards momentum, but that does actually correlate pretty well with this horizontal resistance point at $1.94 there. So it's definitely something to consider if we are going to see that buying power coming up here and that pump in the price in terms of a rejection point from that, potentially a short position to think about if we do correlate that, to correlate with this downward sloping resistance line on the RSI there. Whew. Yeah, let me jump to Doge there for Tyler. Nice to see you back on the stream there, Tyler. Guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Turn that thumbs up blue. I know a lot of you guys have done that already. Yeah, 20 likes on the stream. Thank you ever so much, guys. Means an absolute lot to me. But yeah, at this point in time for Doge, God, I hate Doge. Yeah, we did saw a juicy Elon tweet. It's been his first in a while. But yeah, we did see quite a few measure moves here play out in terms of a long position here. I didn't actually trade this for myself. I actually missed this, I do believe. Yeah, so we did see Elon do a Doge tweet, and we haven't seen that in a while, right? We haven't seen that in a while in terms of crypto crashing. So that is why this pumped significantly, and it's another reason why I hate Doge, because it's just so easily manipulated, right? How can you have a currency with, I don't know what the market cap for it, it might be like 50 billion now. I think it was like 69 billion at one point. But yeah, so how can you have a cryptocurrency or a currency in general with a market cap of 50 billion that can be manipulated at literally like, look at that, 40%, 40 goddamn percent, just from someone typing something on Twitter. This is what I mean. It's too easily manipulated, and a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money from Doge, I think, unless they sort out some crazy technology and some crazy use for it. Which, to be honest, I wouldn't be too surprised, because it does have that popularity factor in terms of the retail space. But yeah, at this point in time, for me, I hate how easily it can be manipulated. In terms of tradable, it's pretty goddamn tradable, I must say. As you can see, we have seen the greedy measure move even played out here for Doge. So yeah, very, very good indeed. There was a tactic that I did read about actually, and it was like you buy a load of Doge and then have like your stop losses continuously, like so limit orders to sell. If you were coming down, you'd just be selling it off gradually, but then take profits at like 40% gains, and then when basically Elon would tweet, because he's going to tweet like every other month or every other week or something along the lines of that, you're going to be smashing those limit orders to the upside in terms of that selling power there. So you are just going to be cashing in that money, right? Cashing in that money. But yeah, in terms of the price prediction right now for Doge, as you can see here, obviously we have broken that that descending triangle there. So I would be looking at ideally holding this level of support here in terms of a horizontal resistance point currently at that 41 cent mark. But at this point in time, I would be seeing us come down, right? Because we know after an Elon tweet, we do actually come down, because it's just this FOMO crap, right? So a lot of people are going to be obviously selling that off, banking that profit, and then we're potentially looking at another buy up from this 200 moving average. But yeah, it is Doge. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we came all the way down to this point here and tested this $28 zone for Doge. So I'm going to jump to KSM quickly there for Neil Esh, because he's saying we're having some stuff going on there. Let me have a little look. KSM. Oh, goodness me. I mean, to be honest with you, at this point in time for KSM, you're saying it doesn't look healthy. It doesn't look healthy in terms of going up anymore, because and if you this is where the FOMO comes in, right? A lot of people will just be like, oh my god, it's going up. I don't want to miss out. I've got to get in now. Rah, 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 rah. And then next thing you know, you've bought the top, and then you dump, because you're near enough parabolic, right? So you bought the dump. Sorry, you buy the top, and then you dump off a cliff, right? So yeah, if we're seeing this go up in a sort of parabolic sort of motion here, I'm pretty sure I've got a curve tool coming through. Where that is, yeah, the parabolic motion coming through. Yeah, we do have a curve tool here. Yeah, a parabolic motion coming through, something along the lines of this. We're not quite there, but if we are going to see that play out, then we are going to see some mass sell-off from there, potentially coming up to this point here if we find a level of support on this horizontal resistance line at 475. But in terms of what's happening right now, I mean, I don't really know why this is going up like crazy. It's up 26% today, absolutely crazy stuff. But if we do get a few candle closes, a consolidation period above this grey box zone, because we have smashed these crucial lower highs here in terms of this downtrend that I was talking about before. We have smashed these crucial lower highs here. If we can get a nice level of support here, nice few candle closes, right? That's going to be ideal, right? It's going to be absolutely ideal in terms of potential. I wouldn't say a long position at this point in time at all, but in terms of a level of support here, in terms of basically referencing out this insane pump that we've had here, right? But yeah, at this point in time, it is pumping quite a bit. But yeah, I wouldn't be FOMOing in anytime soon. Because you're likely to get wrecked, right? You're likely to get wrecked. In terms of risk reward, it's not looking very good at all. Of getting in now. Granted, we have cleared a pretty crucial point here, but I know a lot of people would have been watching this point because it is a lower high point, and it's quite crucial that we get over it in terms of not having this resistance to the downside here. But yeah, so I would be looking at a lot of candle closes above this point, but I wouldn't be looking to FOMO in. I would be looking at a consolidation period before we're looking at another leg up, right? But yeah, it's not too bad. It's nice to see. It's nice to see an altcoin like this pumping like crazy without Bitcoin doing madness, right? It's nice to see that. It is nice to see that, especially for KSM as well, because they've been doing all right in terms of recovery, in terms of price action here, but yeah, you can see they've been swindling out and stuff. It's not been that great for them, right? Not been that great at all. But yeah, high lows being set continuously in terms of price action here. So if we are going to be looking at seeing that reversal, we would be looking at key point here is this grey box zone here. If we lose that, then we would be looking at insane correction to the downside, right? We would be looking at insane correction to the downside. Just looking at how high is this going to go? How high is this going to go? Let me have a little look here. We are currently testing a pretty key level of resistance here at that 476 mark there. But yeah, just have a look at that. As you can see, there's key levels of resistance there. So we are likely to basically stop here. If we're not likely to stop here, and we do get a 4-hourly close above this horizontal resistance line currently in an hour and 35 minutes on the 4-hourly here. If we do get a candle close above that, we might see a leg higher than that. But as you can see, we do have a level of resistance coming through there as well, right? Definitely something to consider in terms of a bounce point. But yeah, I wouldn't be FOMO into this anytime soon. It's just too steep. It's just too risky in terms of risk reward there. You are likely to see, if you're seeing it like this, right, it's likely to see some heavy corrections, right? Not healthy in my opinion, right? In terms of seeing it go up, yeah, it looks very, very nice. I'm late. Did you talk MATIC? Yeah, yes, sir, I did talk a bit of MATIC. Let me see what's on the list, right? Let me have a little look what's on the list, and then I might be able to just do a little quick run through for you there. Nice to see you here, Antonio. Nice to see you here, back, Mark. Nice to see OG out here, Mark. Bill Peterson, nice to see you here, sir. Let me have a look. For Doge, Coinbase Pro announced it will list it for trade. Oh yeah, I did hear about Coinbase listing it for trade as well. So yeah, that'll probably have some impact in the price, right? It probably will have some impact in the price, but that is going to have a counteract for people hearing this news, right? They're going to be like, right, I'm going to buy Doge because it's going to go up, and then they finally list it on Coinbase, and then it really doesn't go up. It actually goes down for a bit before you see that progression to the upside. People aren't just going to, well, I don't know, it's Doge, isn't it? So how can you say that they're not all just going to buy it and it's going to go crazy like it did before? But yeah, it's a meme coin, but yeah, crazy stuff. As I said, not very, I don't really like Doge, of course, like, don't like Doge at all. But yeah, let me jump to MATIC there for Bill, and I'll just run through that real quick. And then for Mark there, I will do a really, really quick XRP talk there. But guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously there. Let me jump to MATIC here, and yeah, guys, I do this every single day. I didn't do it this morning, right? Because obviously my computer's it wasn't very good, wasn't performing very well indeed. So yeah, I didn't do it this morning, but I do it every single morning in terms of streaming here. So yeah, if you never want to miss one of my streams, I do stream for like 1 to 2 hours every single day. I will always do that Monday to Friday at least. If not, you're going to get an altcoin video, you're going to get an emergency update, you get potential long position to research yourself, potential short position to research yourself. So yeah, if you never want to miss any of my content, smash the subscribe button, smash the notification bell, and YouTube will tell you when I upload, whether it's late or not, but they will tell you, right? Do you use leverage? Yes, I like to use a little dabble in leverage. I think everyone loves a little bit of leverage here and there, but for me personally, I'm not a leverage junkie, right? I'm not a leverage junkie, but it is nice to basically have a dabble. I've got basically 2 separate trading portfolio sort of things, right? A nice hodl one, and then also a nice leverage one. So I literally don't cross the 2, right? I have one in there. So if I have a bad trade on leverage, because we all know that can happen, right? If you have a bad trade on leverage, and then it's not going to eat into your actual portfolio, right? That's just, your leverage is like, for me, that's a completely separate thing. I don't like to mix the 2 because it's obviously a lot more risky using leverage, because you can obviously get liquidated, right? Yeah, let me have, what was next? We did MATIC, right? It was MATIC. Yeah, I'll jump to MATIC quickly for you guys. Just have some more water here. Ah, goodness me, that's good. You said BTC not available to cross that 38 zone. I mean, to be honest, right now for BTC, we need to chill. We do need to chill, right? We need to chill above this support zone. And if we do get to this resistance point at 38,700, man, and we are going to see rejections from there, definitely. And on the RSI right now for the short term, we are looking near enough overbought there, so we are likely to see some rejections coming through, right? We are likely to see that. But if we do see the rejection, as I said on the MACD here, it's not gonna be too significant in terms of a downtrend. But you see this uptrend, it is fizzling out pretty rapidly, right? It is fizzling out pretty rapidly. But yeah, if we do see that downtrend and that bearish crossover come through on the MACD here, we're likely to see a level of support being played out here. So it's basically an indication that the trend is going to be absolutely insane to the downside in terms of selling power. And that's an indication that we are potentially going to come down to this point here around that 37,434 before bouncing up. God, tired, yawning again. Before bouncing up again from that point. But yeah, let me jump to MATIC there for who was that? That was for Bill. Yeah, come on, Bill. Yeah, for Bill, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna just run through MATIC really quite quickly because I've done it a few times here. We do have a downward slope and resistance line coming through. That would be a top target if we are looking at, in terms of a resistance point. As you can see, we are finding heavy resistance off that point continuously. In terms of like a short-term target right now for MATIC, it would be to close above the 55, close above the 21 moving average, and then we would be looking for that progression to the upside and a challenge of this horizontal resistance line at that $1.94. I mean, at this point in time, if we do lose the 55 on this four-hourly candle here, I mean, it's not going to look good at all. I can see us basically coming down, but you need to think we do have these high lows being continuously made in terms of this uptrend here. So yeah, that is we are going to see resistance at these points here, I do think, and definitely a bounce point, hopefully, in terms of support here. Maybe even if we lose this 55, we see some sort of consolidation period coming through here. If we look at the RSI right now, we do have this downward slope and resistance line coming through, so we do need to think about that in terms of if we do have some buying power, we are going to basically have that sell-off when we hit this point in terms of resistance here, and that if we do have that buying power is potentially going to correlate with the top side of this the bottom side of this horizontal resistance line at that $1.94 again. So that's another indication we are going to see some resistance from that point. If we do break to the upside here on this RSI here, I am looking at basically seeing us getting overbought pretty soon, and if that is to happen, we are going to basically be above this zone, and we're basically going to see that retrace, and it is going to be a bit of a trap to the upside here before I think us even touching that $2 mark, right? So yeah, definitely something to think about there when trading MATIC. In terms of the short term there, for the hourly, right? No, not the hourly, the 4 hourly. Let's jump to the hourly quickly, see what's going on. We have seen that reverse in the trend. We have seen the lower high actually being set right now. The lower high being set. We are seeing these high lows continuously, which is not too bad, right, in terms of the trend to the upside here. But yeah, if we are gonna lose to the downside, we have got to basically hold this high low point here. Otherwise, we are going to see that retracement, and that basically means we're more or less definitely going to come down to this 174 mark. But yeah, in terms of what's happening with MATIC in terms of performing compared to all the other altcoins right now, I mean, let's be honest, when everything else was sort of pretty flaccid and not doing anything, MATIC was having insane pumps, right? MATIC was having insane pumps, and basically I think that threw off a lot of people, and that's basically what's happening now. It's basically it's behaving differently to the rest of the market because it has a knack to do that. But in terms of MATIC in general, I do think we are going to see some insane gains coming over the next few months and stuff. That's the ideal scenario, and I do think it is going to actually behave pretty abnormally compared to if we do actually go into this just dreaded bear market. If we do go into it, we are going to see MATIC behave pretty abnormally, in my opinion, right? Because they're just doing good things with technology and stuff. But I have heard also that towards the start of summer, end of July, that sort of period, right, we are going to see a bit of a fall off with MATIC, right? But I think long term wise, Polygon have got some good stuff going on as well. So yeah, the fact that they're together now and all that. So yeah, I do think we are going to see some insane price gains for MATIC in the long run. But right now, we're pretty chilled out. It's not too bad. We're basically chilling out. It's nice. We're looking for that momentum to the upside here. If we can get it, that's going to be ideal. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. As I was saying, we are setting these high lows continuously. But yeah, in terms of a level of support, which we've currently got here, we would be looking at holding this line, hold the line at $1.80 mark. And obviously, we are bouncing off this 200. We're finding a level of support on the 200 moving average here on the 4 hourly time frame. Sorry, the 1 hourly time frame. In terms of the 12 hourly right now, God, that's messy. In terms of the 12 hourly time frame right now, obviously, we do have all these horizontal resistance lines that I've plotted in here. Yeah, it's not looking so bad. We are above the 21, and we're actually finding a nice level of support there, which isn't so bad at all. It does look like we're going to see a reverse in the trending and see that momentum to the upside. Obviously, we see this high low getting set in terms of this 12-hourly candle here. We do need to see that this high low point get closed. Get closed in this point here. It could, if we get a lower low point in terms of this trend here, we are looking for that downwards momentum, right? And we don't really want that, right? We don't really want that at all. But yeah, so not so bad, not so bad. At this point in time, I would be saying that MATIC is. Let me just get to this point. I would be saying it is going to hopefully hold its own, but I would be watching this 200 moving average pretty closely. And if we do lose that, as I said, the next point would be eradicating this high low here. And if we do lose that, we are going to basically come down. So yeah, two crucial points to watch would be here and obviously here as well. In terms of that reversal in momentum, I would be looking for a target at least for this horizontal resistance point at that $1.83 there. That would be a nice level of support. If we can get a few candle closes above that, then I would be looking a little bit more bullish indeed and seeing that progression to the upside, eradicating this lower high point that we've got coming down here, right? Eradicating that, and then basically seeing that progression and testing the top side here at that $1.94. And as I said, on a few of the time frames there, in terms of the RSI and stuff, for MATIC, we are going to see some rejections, some clear rejections off that $1.94 mark. So yeah, potential short trade there going on, maybe. We'll just see how we go. But yeah, in terms of chart pattern that we've got coming through here, let me get rid of the WOD machine quickly. In terms of chart pattern that we've got coming through here, we do actually have a bit of a channel coming through, right? A bit of a channel coming through here. So it is not quite here, but yeah, starting here, we do have a bit of a channel coming through here. So if we are looking for a measure move to the upside like that, we would be looking at something along the lines of this in terms of a long trade. That's obviously on the predication that we can find a nice level of support here, and I would be looking at a nice take profit along this point here. If we are going to be looking at that trade, right, we would be looking at around 5% little swing there. Not too bad at all, right? Not too bad at all. But yeah, that's pretty much MATIC summed up if you're there, Bill. But yeah, so key points to watch there for MATIC, indeed, right? Let me have a little look. Was that for Mark? No, it's for Bill. Yeah, it's for Bill. Seen XRP, rewind low. Let me jump on you. Jump on there for Mark, right? There's bearish RSI on the 1 hour for ADA. Let me have a little look in a minute, sir. Let me jump to XRP. Yep, as you can see for XRP, as previously just discussed here, we do have an ascending triangle to the upside here, right? We do have an ascending triangle right now, and we are testing this crucial level of resistance, right? Hopefully we can find a nice level of support here. If we can break to the upside here, if we can, that's going to be ideal. I would be looking at a potential position to the upside here, and I would be taking profit. I would be taking a lump of my profit, probably, I don't know, maybe 65%, 75% at this 200 moving average, because we know how dominant this moving average is in terms of resistance here. So I would be looking at taking a nice chunk of my profit there. In terms of percent for that trade, I would be looking at something along the lines of this, around 8% there. And if we were looking for that completion of the measurement to the upside, we were looking at 22% in terms of that trade. But as you can see here, we do have a horizontal resistance point in terms of this lower high being formed here, in terms of that insane crypto crash that we had going on there. So I would be looking at a nice take profit. Well, that'd be taking the rest of the profit, right? I wouldn't be going for that full measure move, that greedy stuff there, because greed is one of the things that makes you lose all the money, right? So yeah, I would be looking at a nice take profit to finish off the trade at that $1.21 mark zone, right? Yeah, in terms of what's happening, that's on the predication that we do break to the upside. That would be very, very nice indeed. Ivo, nice job. I would be looking at if we are going to break to the downside here and find that resistance off this top side of this descending triangle that we've got coming through here. I mean, it doesn't look so bad that we've just in this sort of retracement here. So hopefully we could get a little fizzer out there and create some sort of pattern coming off like that, and then see a potential measure move coming up along the lines of that. All in speculation, of course. But yeah, if we do see some rejection coming through here, I would be looking at a nice bounce off this 55 and this 21 coming through here. In terms of what's happening on the daily for XRP right now, same sort of scenario here. In terms of the massive chart pattern that we've got here, this giant rising wedge that we've got coming through here, it was very, very crucial what happened when we saw this insane crash here. Obviously, that crypto crash that came through. It's insane that we actually closed inside this range still. We still closed inside this rising wedge that we've got coming through here. We still closed inside of that. So that's a clear indication that we are going to see that momentum coming up to the upside, and we do have a lot of confidence in XRP as itself. And I am bullish on XRP for the long term, because in terms of altcoins, right, they're actually ones that actually do have a use. So yeah, in terms of they do a lot of international transfers for a lot of the major banks around the world. So yeah, I do think XRP does have a pretty dominant use in terms of a fundamental, right? So I do think they're going to be behaving pretty abnormally compared to the Bitcoin dominance and the bear market when that actually officially comes into fruition. Because come on, guys, we're not going to be in a bull market forever. So yeah, a few things to think about there for the XRP, right? I would be looking at that target at breaking this ascending triangle to the top side. That would be the main goal. But as I said, to the downside, we do have heavy levels of support continuously. But yeah, so it's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. It's not so bad at all. I mean, worst case scenario, you're going to lose this 55 and 21, and you're going to get a bounce point off this horizontal resistance point, horizontal support point, and also the bottom side of this ascending triangle, right? Yeah, so definitely a few targets to look at for XRP. Crucial point is where we're at right now. If we can get above that, find a nice level of support on this $1.67 mark, then we will be looking at progression to the upside from there, potential long position as discussed, right? Let me have a little look. There is a bearish RSI on the 1 hour ADA. Let me jump to ADA there. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. Oh, goodness me, my throat, right? And my wisdom teeth. Oh, it's all going wrong. But yeah, appreciate all you guys' support. It means a lot. Obviously, I've only been streaming like Going to be 3 weeks on Friday. Going to be 3 weeks on Friday. And yeah, I'm just continuously trying to improve to you guys and trying to get my point across as best as possible. So yeah, I do really appreciate all your support over the last few weeks and stuff. And you guys are going to be the OGs when the channel hopefully gets better, right? Well, hopefully grows a lot quicker. And the growth that I've had in the last 3 weeks is absolutely astounding to me. I hit like 200 subscribers, which is just unbelievable, right? Absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, bearish RSI on the 1 hour ADA. Yeah, I can expect that, to be honest, because obviously we do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through on the ADA. Oh no, we're on the 4 hour, not the hourly. Yeah, a little cheeky divergence coming through. Yeah, I can see that. And yeah, we are going to see a reversal in the price there, pretty imminently, and that does correlate with the resistance that we are going to see from this horizontal resistance point coming through here. So yeah, we are going to see a retracement in the price for ADA. It's looking like that, so right, looking like that. So, but as I said, for ADA coming through here, let me jump to a higher time frame where this is more relevant, I think. Yeah, as you can see here, we do have a nice level of support in terms of the MACD here. So if we are going to see that reverse in the trend, the likelihood it's not going to be so big. It's not going to be so big. Potentially a bounce of this 21 moving average here. So wouldn't shit yourself in a sense. But that is basically the $1.70 mark. Likelihood we are going to bounce and find support off this point here. If we don't, look, it's not the end of the world. We're just going to have to eradicate this cycle in terms of this MACD trend cycle that we've got coming through here. And we would be looking at a horizontal support point in terms of a downtrend at around this point. So yeah, when we do enter that downtrend, if it isn't flaccid and we do break this level of support in terms of this trend line here, I would be looking to... we'd be looking at the next point would be to basically leave this zone here and come down and test this horizontal support point. Yeah, so yeah, I would be keeping my eye on that when we do enter that downtrend. When we do have that bearish crossover on the MACD there, yeah, definitely something to think about there. Definitely something to think about there. You have 2 mods already. Do I? Yeah, guys, kindly check BRB from... let me try and say your name, bro. Abodun, I think I'm saying that right. Abodun. Yeah, I'll check BNB for you, sir. Very bullish on BNB in the long term, right? I should have some more water, and I'll get back to you for a sec, because we are testing a crucial level of resistance at this point in time. Currently finding a nice level of support there. Ideally, we do want to see that 4 hourly close there, and then the target would be this 200 moving average there, right? But yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, smash the notification bell and the subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. Constantly making crypto content for you guys, and I do stream every single day, 1 to 2 hours at least. And look, we're nearly at that 2 hour mark. Amazing stuff there, guys. Amazing stuff. But yeah, in terms of BNB right now, we are looking at testing that crucial level. We're testing this crucial level. If we can find a nice level of support there, that's going to be ideal. But as you can see here, we have seen insane pumps, right? BNB has done an insane stuff today, which is very, very good indeed for my portfolio. Very, very good indeed. In terms of what's happening for BNB, but as you can see, we have seen it's quite steep, right? It's pretty steep. So ideal scenario, what we want now, we don't want to keep going. If we keep going, we're gonna have a big crash. Well, not obviously not that big, but we're gonna have a big crash coming down, and that's not good. That's not what we want at all. We want basically a nice consolidation period along the support line. Nice consolidation period along the support line, probably bouncing between the 200 here, and also this horizontal resistance point at 433 there. If we can find a nice level of consolidation here, and then a nice level of support at this 438 here, I would be looking at a move up from there. But in order to get this move up, this crucial move up there, we need this consolidation. We need this the price to, in a sense, chill out for a bit, right? We need the price to chill out. Otherwise, as I said, we are going to see that pretty big crash, right? In terms of levels of support that we've got playing out here, right? If we are going to see the resistance play out from this zone here, as you can see, we have seen that in previous history, right? If we do see that resistance play out, we do have a nice safety net coming through on this upward sloping support line at around that 340, 350 sort of mark. So that would be a catch point. And as you can see, we do have major moving averages coming through here. Yes, they are called up, so that has obviously caused this this pump. What's going on here? Because you see called up moving average, it's usually an indication you're going to see a break in the price, right? So yeah, in terms of a catch point, in terms of if we do see the price progress to the downside, we do have this horizontal level of support at that 380 mark. In terms of the RSI right now, we are pretty overextended, right? We're pretty overextended for BNB. We're pretty overbought, right? So that basically means we are likely to see that retracement in the price, right? We're likely to see that retracement in the price. We're likely to see that momentum towards the downside start to play out. Ideal level of support would be this horizontal level of support at that 380 mark. That'd be a lovely bounce point for us indeed. I wouldn't go as far as saying long position, but oh no, maybe actually, yeah, we do actually have an ascending triangle playing out here, right? We're an ascending triangle playing out here. For you guys, let me just draw that in there. We do have an ascending triangle playing out here, and it's pretty attractive, right? It's got very nice legs indeed in terms of attractiveness, in terms of a chart pattern, right? So we do have this playing out. As you can see, we do have Nice touches. Nice touches. Lots of confirmation coming through here. Lots of confirmation. It's very healthy. It's very healthy, very attractive. So that basically initiates that we are potentially looking at a measure move to the upside in terms of a long position, because obviously we have broke to the upside here, right? In terms of a measure move to the upside right now, it would be looking along the lines of this. And that'd be a target price of around 450 there. But as you can see, well, for me, when we do see some sort of chart pattern playing out like this, and it is a very healthy chart pattern, it's basically more chance it's going to play out. I would be looking at the retest, right? I would be looking for the retest and then getting a nice low entry and then seeing that progression to the upside from there, right? An ideal scenario right now, obviously we're overbought here, so we are looking at the momentum to the downside playing out. If we can get a lovely entry here, we would be looking at, in terms of percent, going for something along the lines of 18% if we're looking for that measure move to sort of play out completely. But as you can see, we do have pretty dominant levels of resistance playing out continuously. So we would be taking profit all the way up, right? We'd be taking profit all the way up in this trade, and probably not even getting to that 18%. Probably getting to this this 200 moving average. Obviously referencing other indicators and momentum and that sort of stuff there in terms of live trade. Not being greedy, right? Not being greedy, because still 13%. Pretty juicy indeed, right? It's pretty juicy, right? So yeah, that's pretty much BNB summed up. I do think we are going to basically have a retracement from there and probably bounce off this point here. Ideal scenario, that would be good because it would correct this insane pump that we've had here. But yeah, for the long term, I would be looking at clearing this crucial point here, which we're currently testing. But as I said, obviously, as I said a minute ago, on the RSI there, on the 4 hourly, we are pretty much overextended there, and we are seeing rejection here off the 55 as well. So yeah, we do need a consolidation period to reference this insane pump that we've had here. So we do need a consolidation period before we're looking at that next leg up. But in terms of long-term fundamental for BNB, I am pretty bullish indeed, because obviously they've got amazing stuff going on with blockchain, and the fees are just 10 times cheaper than Ethereum. So yeah, very bullish on on Binance Coin for the long run, right? Very bullish indeed, right? Let me have a look at what's next. Where's Bitcoin headed, mate? Liam, I'll jump onto that straight away. I do recognize your name. Thank you for returning to the stream, bro. Nice to see you back here. As you can see, Bitcoin, let me just do, I'm going to do a quick summary on Bitcoin there, and then I'm probably going to end the stream, guys. But I will be back on in the morning for literally, I'll probably do like 2 hours tomorrow morning there. So yeah, it'd be lovely to see you all back here again. And yeah, thanks again for tuning into this today, guys. And if you are enjoying the stream, smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out tremendously. But yeah, I'll just jump onto Bitcoin and do a little summary there for Liam. Been away for a few days. Not a problem at all, sir. Did you have a good time? Yeah, Bitcoin at this point in time, we are actually currently testing this level of support, as I was just saying before. But on this short term right now, we are looking at being near enough overbought here on the RSI. So we are looking at basically some sort of retracement playing out pretty soon. And that's why you're seeing this this consolidation period right now. We're seeing this consolidation period on this level of support at that 37,791. Thanks for that, man. Not a problem at all, sir. Yeah, we are seeing a nice level of support play out at this 37,800 sort of mark here, which, I mean, it doesn't look so bad because we are setting these higher lows continuously. And it's not, if we were setting lower lows in terms of this trend continuously all the way down, then I would be like, yeah, we're going to see some sort of price reversal and potentially have a bounce spot off this horizontal level of support at the 37,400. But at this point in time, we're dwindling out, we're chilling, we're not losing the RSI buying power in a sense, but we're letting it chill out and fizzle out, which is good, right? We need that to happen before we can even think about taking another leg up, right? This is the short term basically playing out right now. I mean, I did actually get in a trade for this Bitcoin, right? I did actually get in a trade when we left this symmetrical triangle on the short term, right? We left the symmetrical triangle on the short term that's playing out. I got in a trade and I took my profit around this point here, around this horizontal resistance point. I took my profit there. In terms of percent for that, it wasn't too bad. Literally like 2% scalp, nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy, but still good indeed. And I actually have made quite a bit of money from my portfolio going up today with alts as well. So yeah, not a problem at all there for checking that there for you, Abu Dun there. Not a problem at all, sir. But yeah, in terms of what's happening for Bitcoin right now, ideally we want to hold this support continuously, which it's looking like we're going to let the RSI fizzle out on the hourly, and then basically see that progression to the upside and start eradicating these lower highs, which we are currently setting in terms of this trends coming down here. I would be looking at the next target would be to get over this zone here, and that is that 38,200. But I want it to chill out a bit first, and then from there I would be looking at a potential test of this 39,000 sort of zone. But yeah, this is obviously a dominant point of a downward sloping resistance line, right? Because obviously you can see the resistance coming down continuously from this point. So yeah, I would be expecting probably some resistance coming through here. Definitely something to watch, right? Definitely something to watch, because if history is going to repeat itself, we are going to be looking at some rejection. Not a problem at all, Nilesh. You have a good evening, sir, if you are UK time. yeah, we are going to see basically some rejection off this downward sloping resistance line here. I can see that playing out pretty heavily. In terms of the MACD right now, as you can see, we do have this support line coming through here. We have this pretty dominant support line in terms of this cycle. So if we are going to see that that sort of trend reversal coming through here, thanks, dude. Glad you made some dollar. Also, go have a beer, mate. Yeah, I would love one, mate. The sun has been amazing. I'm actually very burnt, like completely. All the tops of my feet are burnt. It's dreadful. I can barely put shoes on. But yeah, so in terms of the downtrend right now, I would be looking at, if we are going to basically see this bearish crossover play out, we are going to hopefully find a nice level of support here, right? It's likely that this is going to play out in terms of the downtrend. As you can see here, we have been making some insane calls in terms of predicting the price, predicting where we're going to see that reversal. As you can see here, we did see that reversal point there, and that was basically correlating perfectly with the support line that we got coming through here. So when we do see that next trend, it's hopefully not going to be very big. It's an indication it's not going to be very big. We are going to find that support there, and then we're going to have a bullish crossover to counteract it. So it's basically an indication that if we do see that reversal happening, we're likely to come down to this point, correlate with this 21 moving average coming through here, and then basically have a bounce to the upside from there. That's the ideal scenario to happen if we are going to be looking at finding that support on the MACD there on the midterm, right? So yeah, a few things to think about there in terms of putting everything together for Bitcoin there in terms of trying to predict the price. Very, very good stuff indeed. I mean, if we are going to come down and test this lower side of this, the top side of the symmetrical triangle again, I would be potentially looking at a long position again from there. But yeah, we'll just have to see how everything is planning out because it did make a nice little 2% there as well. Now, the midterm, right? The midterm now, we have seen, as discussed on the short term there, we have got this pretty dominant downward sloping resistance line coming through. I've done a little chart pattern here for you guys, and it is a symmetrical triangle playing out here as well. So, and it's pretty big, right? It's pretty goddamn big. It's pretty big indeed. And it's attractive, right? It's got the nice legs there. So we are looking at a lot of healthy touches indeed. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we were going to see some sort of rejection point from here, because as you can see, the resistance is pretty futile. The resistance is pretty there, right? It's pretty there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were to lose this zone. But we do have 1 hour and 10 minutes left of this 4-hourly candle. If we can get a couple of 4-hourly candle closes above this, then I can see us potentially riding up from there. But worst case scenario, we do lose it. We got the 55 there. We got a few horizontal support points coming through here. One at 37,330. So yeah, one to think about there, and that is actually correlating with this this green moving average 55 one that we got coming through down here. And also the 21 and the 10 moving average coming up as well, right? Which we usually just ride and scurry along them. So yeah, we could potentially find a nice level of support there. If these guys are going to correlate, these 3 moving averages coming through here, if they're going to basically come into a cross motion there, I would be looking at a bounce off from them a lot more aggressive, right? A lot more aggressive. And then we could be looking at a potential trade to the upside, obviously on the retest of this downward sloping resistance line currently. Actually, no, support line at this point in time. But yeah, if we were looking at a potential trade, we would be looking at a measure move along the lines of this, and that would look something, obviously depending on where we're going to break along this trend line coming down here, we will be looking at something along the lines of this in terms of a measure move to the upside. In terms of a percent for that trade, we would be looking at something along the lines of a 12% gain for Bitcoin there. And as you can see, we do have this 200 moving average coming down as well, right? And that is going to basically correlate pretty well with the end point of this measure move. I'm not saying I'm going to let it completely play out. I'm going to say I'm going to manage it continuously. We do have these horizontal resistance points to think about in terms of take profit points. One at that 39,734 zone, and another one up here at 41,613 zone. And as I've stressed before, this zone here, this 41,000 to 42,000 zone, is very, very, very crucial indeed. I can't stress that enough, because as you can see, that's the wrong chart. As you can see here, this grey box zone that we've got playing out here, we do have a heavy amount of resistance from this point, right? And if we are going to see us basically break that and see the reversal in the trend, it's nice. It's basically to see this massive trend curl over, and then we're going to see that progression to the upside, and then we can talk about this bull market barrier touching that again on the long term there, in terms of confirming that we're coming back into that bull market with heavy resilience, right? Let me have a little look at but yeah, so that would be the potential trade to the upside there. Target right now, it would be to stay above this downward sloping support line that we've got coming through here, and that is around that 38k zone. I would like to see us fizzle out a bit there, and then basically see some moves up from there. That'd be quite nice to see for Bitcoin, because obviously it is doing wonders for a lot of people's portfolios, bringing up all the other altcoins as well. Very, very nice indeed. And KSM just doesn't want to stop, right? KSM just doesn't want to stop. It's at like 26% now. Crazy. But yeah, let's jump to the midterm. Let's have a little look at the RSI quick. The RSI right now, we have just broke a major downward sloping resistance line to the downside here on the RSI here. As you can see, we do primarily heavily respect it, right? We have heavily respected it since literally December. Like, it's crazy stuff. So we do know it's pretty dominant, right? If we are going to come down, hopefully we're going to find a level of support on it and then bounce up from there. So in terms of a price, that's an indication that the price could come down, lose this zone here, loses 38, come down to around this 37 sort of zone on this 55, potentially correlating, as I said, with the 21 and the 10 here, and then we can be looking at finding a nice level of support. But with that being said, if we don't find a level of support on this RSI line, we are going to find heavy resistance off it, right? We're going to find heavy resistance off it to the downside. As you can see here, it basically just plays out pretty strongly, like 90% of the time, right? Crazy stuff there. If we do see a heavy point of resistance, if we can't find support on it on the way back down, if that does happen, I can see us losing these major moving averages and then basically coming down to the downside, potentially this lower side of this symmetrical triangle playing out here. I wouldn't see us coming down all the way to the bottom side of this channel, because that is just ridiculous price action down to 30k there. I really hope that doesn't happen, because then we would be setting near enough lower lows there, and that would be dirty, right? We could see an insane panic sell-off and then potentially a measure move play out to the downside here, probably looking like something along the lines of this. In terms of the symmetrical triangle, potentially correlating perfectly with this volume weighted ATR band. And then for me, next time we hit this volume weighted ATR band on the 4 hourly here, I'm definitely entering a long position to the upside, right? Definitely entering a long position, because if we reference it on the, I think it's the 12 hourly, right? I think we reference it on the 12 hourly. No, it's not the 12 hourly. Is it the daily? Yeah, it's the daily, right? As you can see here on the daily, we did actually get there. And the gains that we should have made from that, I didn't quite see it on the daily, but yeah, the gains on that would just been insane, right? Insane in terms of a bounce point. So yeah, next time we get down there, it's just going to be crazy. But yeah, very nice stuff indeed. In terms of gains for that volume weighted ATR band. Let me jump back to the 4 hourly, because where were we with that? But yeah, crucial stuff on this RSI. I would be watching that. I would be watching that with BDIs, right? BDIs on that RSI, because if we do lose that zone in terms of selling power coming off there, we would be looking at a colossal sort of dump in terms of the price there if we do lose that zone and don't find support there. Yeah, so in terms of oh god, that's wrong. In terms of the MACD here, in terms of the 4 hourly here, as you can see here, we do have this this support line coming through as well. Looks pretty much the same as the 1 hourly coming through there. So if we do see that trend coming down, we like to see it get caught by that net, caught by that support. That's gonna be very nice before we see that reversal again. But currently we're seeing that the trend did die out. We were looking for that bearish crossover, but no, it didn't happen. We saw actually that uptrend play out, and that's what we're seeing, this juicy stuff happening now. So yeah, very good stuff indeed. I mean, if we are going to see that switch to the downside, we do know we've got this level of support to think about when we do actually see that bearish crossover on the MACD there for the 4 hourly time frame for Bitcoin. But yeah, let me have a look at the long term right now. Long term for Bitcoin right now. And let's do the daily first. We do have this downward, this descending triangle. Sorry guys, I'm getting quite tired now. This descending triangle coming down to the downside here. If we are looking for a measure move to the upside here, we would be looking at something along the lines of this. Obviously, depending on where we're going to break, we do have this this 200 moving average coming down here as well. And we do have this 21 moving average coming down here as well. So we would be looking at potential take profits along them if we are going to see price action to the upside on the top side of this descending triangle coming through here. So that we would be looking at entry around that point if we can get a couple of candle closes, maybe a little cheeky retest coming through here. Then we would be looking at potential long position, looking at around 10% there for Bitcoin. But yeah, definitely something to consider, and definitely take profit points at this at these major trend lines. And also we do have obviously these dominant lower high points that I've been talking about as well. So we would be looking at take profits at all of them as well, right? And that's around that 40 to 42k zone sort of mark there. Yeah, definitely something to consider. But yeah, low point, I'd say we would be looking at a bounce for this. If we do see this reversal and the resistance to the top side of this descending triangle here, I would be looking at a bounce point of this at this 34,000 zone. I did say, I think it was my stream like 3 or 5 days ago, we are looking at a low point, a bounce at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if we got down there to 34,500 and then bounced up from there. A few indicators coming together saying that is pretty possible, right? It's pretty possible. So definitely something to consider when trading Bitcoin on in general, right? Trading Bitcoin in general, right? As you can see here on the weekly chart, we are seeing these higher lows being continuously set. Very good stuff indeed. Ideal target would be this point up here to test that, get over that, get rid of this lower high, and that is that 40,000 sort of zone, near enough 41k there. So yeah, we need to get over that, eradicate this lower high coming through to see that insane reverse in the trend on the weekly. That would be the target for that. If we are to lose this 55, I can see us coming down to this volume weighted ATR band, and that is around that 28 sort of zone, and that does correlate with this falling channel coming through here around this point later on in history if we do get there, right? So yeah, definitely a few things to think about there. Let's jump to the monthly quickly. in terms of we did close the monthly like a few days ago, right? And we were looking close if we were going to see the candle close below this 10 moving average. If we were going to see that, we could have even come down to 26k there. Pretty scary stuff for Bitcoin indeed. But yeah, at this point in time, we did close above it, looking good indeed. But as I said a second ago, I wouldn't be surprised if this candle came down and we actually tested it around that 34,500 zone. That's one of the indications as well. We could actually get down there in the future. But yeah, we are early in a month. We're likely to pump for the start of the month. For literally like 20 days, we're likely to have a nice amounts of uptrend here, and then towards the end of the month absolutely plummet down to the floor, right? So yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of Bitcoin right now. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it from me. I'm going to round off the stream now. My throat's burning, my wisdom teeth are killing me. I've got all 4 of them coming through at the same time, right? Really annoying stuff. But yeah, thank you ever so much for being here, guys, and I'll see you all bright and early in the morning for a nice morning stream, probably around 8-9 o'clock, around that point there. But yeah, thank you ever so much for being here, guys. Means a lot. And I'm sure hopefully you all have a good sleep. And yeah, guys, if you like the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. I think BTC resting for a takeoff. Yep, so do I, sir. Hopefully we can find a nice level of support on this and then bang it up. Obviously I did say we are going to find levels of resistance at this 38k zone, so take that into account. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for being here, and it is peace out from me, Crypto Chester.